morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to this function to the launch of the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda Limited. As we wait for guests to arrive, we have invited guests who have not yet reached here and our members, but we have one function. We have one of our colleagues from the EAC region from Rwanda, Mark Abagari, who is here to take us through the EAC QUAAUL Awards. At this juncture, while we start our program, we're calling upon Mark Abagari of EAC to take us through what we expect in the East African QUAAUL Awards. Mark Abagari, you're welcome, please, to give your remarks. Thank you. Dear friends, good morning, dear friends. Dear friends, can you hear us, please?
I'm hearing you. Good morning.
Dear friends, you have some remarks to make, please go ahead. Dear friends, can you unmute yourself? Dear friends, please.
Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to this function. And I wish you a blessed interaction. I'm currently in Kigali. I was late to fly back this evening, but I'm with you, and I look forward to listen in all the proceedings and also participate in the dialogue towards the end. For now, just going off to mute, but I'm within the meeting as I'm residing in my hotel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear friends. Mark?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Mark.
Hello, how is everyone?
We are all fine. How is Rwanda?
Good, good. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share with you the EAC QUAAUL Award framework. Yeah, so there are just a few slides, and I thought I should take this opportunity to share with you as members of the QUAAUL Champion Hub, because we see opportunities for QUAAUL champions who have now formed themselves into associations to see how you can actually add value to the quality award framework of East Africa. So why do I feel that you need to know this? First of all, I mean, why did we have this concept of a QUAAUL award framework? When you look at statistics, the foreign direct investment in Africa is actually, you wouldn't believe, it's 4 times that of the G7 and twice that of Asia. So meaning that the inflows of foreign direct investment in Africa are very, very high. And Africa and EAC, therefore, need to focus on how to boost our competitiveness over MSMEs, particularly SMEs and even large enterprises, in order to thrive in the marketplace. And actually, you can see where I got a reference. So integrating quality management in our MSMEs, their operations can significantly enhance their competitiveness, international trade, and innovation. So that really builds a rationale as to why we need to support them to increase quality, dimension of the traded products and services. And so to achieve that, certainly we need to build a quality culture in organizations that in trade, as well as actually the consumers, so the suppliers and consumers. So it has to be across the whole spectrum to make it a culture. That's actually why in the partner states, they have started teaching in some schools, they have started teaching standardization in schools so that our kids grow up knowing culture. But this one certainly focuses on the businesses. So the EAC QUAAUL Award, I need to emphasize that it is there to complement the National Quality Award agenda or efforts, meaning that there's no duplication. Actually, what is happening is that every country in East Africa, particularly Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda, have been participating in these, have been organizing these National Quality Awards. In case of Uganda, there are many institutions that have been organizing it, including UNBS and a number of organizations, the private sector, and so on. So as quality champions, as association, I can see a place in this, and therefore what we need to, I can see this process at the national level complementing the regional effort, whereby the winners at national level move on to the regional level. And at some point, I will show you where I see yourselves latching in. So what is the ESC Quality Award? So this, although I am saying here, it's a biomarker project, but actually it's conceived by the ESC. And it's designed to support implementation of quality practices. First of all, to enhance quality excellence. That's what we need to achieve. And then, of course, when you organize at regional level, what has been happening at national level, when they meet at that level of the region, then we create experience sharing at regional level. And by so doing, a small company, an SME, at the moment, when you read the concept note, I think I've shared with Juliet before, but Juliet, I must admit that it has changed quite a lot. We've reviewed it, and I'll send to you after this meeting so that the members of the association can be able to see where they fit in pretty well. But the point is that when these SMEs and large enterprises, which are the ones which are going to be competing at a regional level, at national level, every country has got the freedom to decide how many institutions that they have which they have to organize to compete. But at the regional level, for now, we are saying that they have to be SMEs and large enterprises. So by an SME moving from national level to regional level, it certainly increases its visibility. So that's why we see it as very important. And then, of course, as they move to the regional level, their products come to be known, they become more competitive, and it boosts trade at enterprise level and the region. And then, of course, we by organizing these SMEs and large enterprises at a regional level, we are enhancing, promoting the regional integration agenda of our region. And then, of course, beyond that, we can see them moving to international markets and also latching to the AfCFTA. As you know, Africa is becoming one market. We hope that that's going to be realized. So as I said at the beginning, this Quality Award framework is consistent with the ESC aspirations of promoting quality culture. I remember when I presented the document last year in the ESC Standards Committee, actually Stella, who is your country person, reminded us that she reminded me that it was a project which was conceived a long time ago, even during my time when I was still working for the Rwanda Standards Board, but somehow it never took off. So it's now taking off as an opportunity for, I think, for East Africa and for all of us. So the benefits of implementing quality practices is that they increase competitiveness and market access. So I've got just a few statistics here that I would like to share with you. One is the intra-ESC trade. So this was that increased from $291 million in 2010 to 340 in 2014. And this was up by 17%. Actually, these data were carried out by East African Business Council by sampling 6 most traded products out of 20. So it's just one of stats I picked, but you can see, and this was a result of just applying standards. And then extra ESC trade on the sampled goods went up by 12% from 851 to $950 million over the same period. So you can really see that when we support quality practices, quality improvement, then we can get benefits of increased trade. So experience sharing by participating MSMEs can spark continuous improvement, certainly. They learn from one another by participating. And then, of course, as they meet, we can see them taking advantage of the AFC FTA continental market. It's a huge market, estimated at $3.4 trillion. And the market is big. I know your president, actually, he's been a champion in talking about this region integration and African integration, which creates a huge market. If you think of a country like Uganda, I think you are now around 40+ million people. But if you can now trade within the region of more than 200 million people, so you can understand the benefits to our business community. And this is recorded as the largest trade-free zone since the creation of WTO in 1995. That is the AFCFTA. So but all along, as I'm talking, see yourselves as fitting into this jigsaw. So the features of the QUAAUL Award, in a brief, we envision 7 categories that will be competing at a regional level. But as I said, at national level, they can be more or they can be less, depending on the market setup and on the private sector setup in the country. So the first one is the ESC Company of the Year. So then the second one is the Product of the Year. So the winners national level will be moving on to the regional level, and then they assess that they compete on these 7 aspects. Then the third one will be the Private Service Company of the Year. The fourth would be the Exporter of the Year, and then the fifth would be, then the fifth to the 7th would be focusing not on products, but on the stakeholders that actually add value to standardization. Where the fifth would be the ESC Standardization Excellence Award, given to those standard committees that add value to the standards development and the standards implementation. And then the stakeholders that support engagement, the standard and quality practice. That is people who sponsor, people who provide their spaces, those people who sponsor in different ways. And then the 7th would be especially the media who provide a voice and awareness raising in the standard world. Of all these categories, in each category, the winners would be the winner, and then the runner-up in the SME, and then in the large enterprise. So that's how it is structured. And I must say that the pilot award right now, the national process is taking place in different countries at different stages, but we plan to have the ESC pilot event sometime in June. It may either be in the last week of June, in the second week of June. We haven't decided on a date, but the national processes are already taking place. So I just want to show you briefly how the methodology of selecting the competitors. First of all, it begins with the designing and disseminating criteria for expression of interest. So expression of interest is a call is sent out for people who wish to compete. And then, so it defines the terms of reference, what the applicants have the condition they have to fulfill. And then followed by a pre-qualification process of applicants. So those would be started the winners, those who have won at national process. But for the pilot, which is taking place this June, we want to go through all this. The winners will be selected by the, by those who will win will automatically be forwarded to the ESA level. And then an assessment team of experts from all participating countries will be constituted, and then we'll design assessment criteria, and then assessment teams will visit pre-selected companies. But this is the ideal for the future. But for now, I don't think I'm going to go through these processes, because some of them right now at national level are actually being even picked from the database of certification, of quality, maturity data that in the national systems. But in the future, these will be the procedure to follow. And then data analysis and draft reports by the assessment team will be made. And then we'll select a team of experts, and then we'll validate and recommend winners. And then feedback will be given to companies to make corrective actions where things are not okay. And then the award of ESC Quality Award by selected personalities will be carried out. And then the process continues. So that's how the process will be taking place at the ESC level. That's a quality journey. So where do we see ourselves as quality associations in this jigsaw? What we have included in the document, in the framework, is that this process will be carried out by the NSPs in some partner states, but in others, of course, in partnership with the private sector. But the quality champion hubs will be a part and parcel of the process. But of course, that will depend on your negotiation skills at partner state level. Why we see this as important for you being a part of this process, first of all, it increases the visibility of the hubs and their capacities and programs. Then, of course, as you interact with these people who are practitioners, the private sector, you see they're practitioners, the NSBs are practitioners, you learn and they learn from you as well. And then it creates opportunity for partnerships. Sometimes they're overwhelmed. That was my experience when I was in the Bureau of Standards. You would find that we need to contract people to do work on our behalf. But as a country, we didn't have sometimes the people we needed to do the job within the country. So we had to look out. And actually, Kenya was where we was our resource pool. That's where we used to get people to come and support us. So you can see by partnering with quality institutions, you're actually creating opportunities for work and for contributing to your community as well. And then, of course, you would be we see them as leveraging your expertise, which is quite unique. As you know, I've been a part of the Quality Champion program, and I know that you've acquired immense amount of knowledge in the process. So this Quality Award is designed, as I said, to complement already existing national efforts by being a platform of quality journey experience sharing for continued improvements. So why we are emphasizing this, it's because in some countries it has been misunderstood as competing with their national quality award agenda. But as I said, the ES at ASC level, we are building on already existing work. So it's basically complementary. So it's one of the catalysts for the transition to growth of the formal and informal sectors by implementing quality and quality practices. So when people participate, as you saw in the scheme that I've just shown, they get a feedback of areas of improvement. And in so doing, they actually improve. Even if they don't win, but they improve their quality practices, quality management. So we see this framework as a key driver for the implementation of quality improvement practices in our region. When it takes off, we see how this pilot actually goes on, but I know it will energize our people. And so, dear friends, as you launch today, I just want to advise that you move out and see how you can link up with the NSB, the Uganda National Bureau of Standards, and see how you can really partner with them in moving forward the quality management in our region. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share with you. I'll be moving to the ESC meeting. There's a meeting taking place in about in the next few minutes, but I will be with you if you have any inputs, any questions, any ideas you can give me that I can take that meeting, because they're the ones who approve this quality award agenda. And especially to see how you can actually come in and support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark, for taking us through the East African Quality Awards. And it so happens we have a number of enterprises in this room. They are able to see where we are heading to, and probably that creates a platform for us improving our products in the ESC region. Thank you, Mark. As you said, you are moving to the next meeting. We do allow you to move to the next meeting, and then we get on to the program of the day. Thank you very much. At this time, I'll hand over to Robert so that we can start this launch program. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for having me, and I really wish you a good launch.
Thank you, Mark. The words of inspiration, as well as the insights and foresight for the associations that we have in Uganda, as well as companies, as well as those other quality associations that we have the East African region. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mugenyi Musenze Robert. I will be your moderator today. We have just got an insight from our colleague from Rwanda, Mark Babbe, who has taken us through the East African Quality Awards. Key to the agenda right now is that we are going to have a prayer. We want to have somebody who feels blessed today morning and feels that he or she can link us to the Creator, that we have a wonderful launch as well as deliberations. From there, we shall have our chairperson. We shall have introductions as well as comments and remarks, as well as insight and foresight into the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda. And then we shall have words of wisdom from our ITC representative Marker project to show us how far we have moved. We shall have to go into more of the discussions where other participants in the ITC Marker Quality Champions project, and also what they have learned and how their businesses have transformed. We hope we shall, by the time we finish this, we shall have an EU delegation representative. By that time, we shall see, as well as also have our official launch of the associations from the authorities that are concerned, especially with quality and coffee and all that we do, coffee and cocoa mostly. That will be the brief of the agenda. Anybody feeling honored today, blessed to have us take us through a prayer? Let's pray.
Loving Father, we thank you for this day and we thank you for the gift of life. Thank you that, Lord, you've chosen us to be here and to bring quality assurance in the country. Pray that, Lord, your blessings be with us. You guide us with you for the betterment of humanity. Christ, we pray.
Thank you very much for that wonderful prayer. We're going to have introductions so that we know each one in the room. I'm going to start with my colleague right here on my left-hand side, and we shall move the mic around.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Godfrey Onono. I am a fight champion. At the moment, I work with Gamers Limited. Thanks.
Good morning, our guests. The team. My name is Tony Makal, also a fight champion. I'm also the treasurer of the Fight Assurance Association of Uganda. I work with the National Bureau of Standards.
My name is Martin Nangoni. I work with Chikobero Kofi from Kampala. I am a beneficiary of MACAP, and one of the biggest achievements that I have had since I have been attending quality sessions is that we were certified by UABS, and in the next stage, when they checked our quality, they say it was as consistent as the first time.
Good morning, everyone, once again. I'm Roger Zima, quality champion, at the same time, the chairperson of the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda. I do work with the Uganda Tea Corporation and the coffee division, the Salama coffee division. We are located in Jeru. You're most welcome.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Juliet, okay? The National Coordinator of the MACAP project. I am glad to be here this morning at the launch of the association because it's one of the outcomes of MACAP project within quality component. Happy to associate with this achievement, and I'm looking forward to having more conversation and networking with you.
Good morning, all. My name is John Carter-Els from private sector SME, and that is in Fort Portal, Toro Kingdom, and the company is called QAAUL. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Simo, that's my name. I'm into cocoa and vanilla. I will not say I'm a champion of quality as yet, but I look at quality as one of my driving factors. And I'll be sharing my story during the day. So I have to make a presentation. And I'm so happy to be here. Also a product of ITC and MACAP.
Thank you very much, everyone. My name is Pius Caesar, and I work for Uganda Tea Corporation. We are beneficiaries of the ITC project, quality component. Mr. Roger Sima is a quality champion, and we are here to celebrate alongside with him as we attend also the launch of the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda Limited. Thank you.
So my name is Richard Mukasa. I'm Mukasa consultant. I'm not for EU, not for USAID, not for UCDM. So me, I know copy. That's my work. So whenever there's copy, I'm around. I'm seeing some people around. Thank you so much.
Yes, good morning, friends. My name is Ronald Hiro from
the Resort Sustainable Food Center agent, and we resolve the cost and some tests. And we did a coffee, cocoa, and water. Very much to witness this great story.
Good morning, colleagues. My name is Dennis Yiga from Chungu Cocoa Cooperative, part of Wamba Union, to produce quality coffee. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jared Kazawazi, the National Coffee Barista, Coffee Roaster, and the beneficiary of ITC. ITC has really done us a great job. They have skilled us on various coffee value chain activities. So I'm proud to be an associate of this program. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Joseph Oriombo from Uganda Tea Corporation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cynthia Achetet, the founder and executive director of Masha Holding. We are based in Queen District, South Kokorit Queen, but we are born in October, and we are a very strong product of ITC, the Rimaka project, and we are glad and humbled to witness the launch of this association and to share more details of our company. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Abhi Palame. I work with the Foreign Affairs, happy to be involved as a corporate fellow and international officer. I thank you very much for the time. I'm happy to be here. And I look forward to asking more to get information about what I'm going to take back when I go.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Martha Nari, and I am a primary processor. I roast and tap coffee and the deployment of people. And we are based in the Robusta region in Wengo. We work in Wengo, Central Village, that side. I am a beneficiary of the markup project. Thanks to Juliet. We really appreciate. We can proudly say that we have UNPS certificate courtesy of the training that we went through, and we are able to have our product on the shelves of different supermarkets, both in Kampala, Masaka, and Wengo. In our product is coffee. Very sure you'll see around the research. I am also here wearing a different hat. I sit on the board of UCTA, representing roasters as well as women in coffee. And thank you. Thank you.
From the Central Coffee Farmers Association, I have one main in pasta coffee, both export and import.
And there is someone from Central Coffee Farmers Association. She's a one. So,
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sonkalis Timbuka from the Central Coffee Farmers Association. I work as a
morning, ladies and gentlemen. My names are Elliot Barigea, as I take the mighty back. You are all welcome. I'm the coordinator of the Quality Assurance Association, and maybe some of you received the invitations from me. And thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Have a blessed day.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
I'm Efrans Tumoboine. I'm a quality champion and a member of a board member of the Quality Association. Thank you very much, and you are all welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Elia Moreka. I'm the membership and advocacy officer from the National Quality Association of Tanzania. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Margarita Fander from ITC. I've been following the project since the beginning. And I'm very, very happy to be part of this event today. Thank you.
Thank you, Margareta. To give you a brief, colleagues, about the event that is gathering us here today, the Quality Assurance Association is one of the outcomes of the ITC markup quality component. And it has a series of initiatives that included a pool of master trainers, and then also those that graduated were over 17 quality champions. These 17 quality champions worked with companies that they coached and supported in standardizing their services as well as processes, but also in developing training tools, as well as ensuring that the companies that they are working with in line with the ESC quality services, as well as supporting them to access repositories of information that relate to quality improvements and also business sustainability. There are several tools that we have developed for use for the companies, but also the juices that participated in this program got qualified. They are fully registered right now. We shall have a moment in due course to show some of the juices to represent them, but also to ensure that the processes continue for sustainability. The key word here is sustainability of all programs that we work with. The QCs, with support from ITC, formed the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda. And from that point, we believe that this process will not stop from the only starting point where the QCs were trained and also offered expertise, but to be able to continue to deliver these services throughout their lifetimes. For that brief, I want to invite our Quality Assurance Chairperson to give remarks. The Chairperson will also introduce the committee and board members of the association that have been elected for the delegates here to get to know and also put name to face in case they are also engaged later on. We welcome Mr. Sim.
Thank you, Robert. As I introduced myself, I'm Roger Sima, the quality champion and the chairperson of the Quality Assurance Association Uganda Limited. Our chief guest, who is in absentia, the MD Uganda of the Government Authority, the UNBS ED, EU delegation, EDs of the various organizations present, SMEs coached present, colleagues, quality champions, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, you are warmly welcome to the launch of the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda Limited. The Quality Assurance Association of Uganda Limited, as mentioned, is a product of the markup project, born out of the trained quality experts, champions, and the market access upgrade program. The association brings together the quality champions who have undertaken 2 years training and have been certified by World Alliance for Quality and the Global Platform for Quality. We are grateful to the European Union, the funders of the project, the International Trade Center implementing the organ, and also the focal organization in Uganda, Uganda Coffee Development Authority. The quality champions are professionals with different backgrounds and experiences. And this was taken care at the selection of the beneficiaries to this project. We are proud to say that the association has a pool of experts with the required knowledge and skills to turn around enterprises with the sole objective of improving quality of products and services to meet market requirements. In the room here, we have the quality champions. At this time, I would ask the quality champions stand up for recognition. 23, we started with 23 and 1745. So some got certificates with distinctions and other certificates. So congratulate all the quality champions. The Quality Association is currently housed at the Africa Coffee Academy in Kamboja. We thank the Africa Coffee Academy for having given us space to sit at ACA. And we have board members present here. At this time, I would like to introduce the board members present. The chairperson of the association, Roger Sima. We have the secretary, Mugenyi Robert Musenzi, Antonia Semakan, our treasurer, France, who is online in Rwanda, and Godfrey Onono. The association has a coordinator who is responsible for its daily operations, and that is Mr. Elliot Baligea behind. Who keeps the association running. As earlier mentioned, the quality champions have undertaken training for the last 2 years. There are key areas that they covered: beginning of quality, how quality starts, the origin of quality, fundamentals of quality. We have done the Lean Six Sigma Green Belt course. We've done the food safety course, and also concluding the quality, and we ended with the running projects at SMEs and companies, where every QC undertook a project and to have an output of the project. It's our appeal through the heads of the different umbrella organizations that we have in Uganda to take advantage of the association to improve the market access for the various products and services in your SMEs, your companies, and organizations. The association can take on a number of activities in areas of quality, related training, quality control, assurance and improvement, work standardization, quality audits, standards implementation. The association is looking forward, working with a number of enterprises that are in for improving quality for market access in the coffee and cocoa value chains. As our vision states, is to achieve business success through work standardization, with our overall objective or goal is to build a quality culture that enhances the development, testing, and processes for competitiveness of enterprises at national, regional, and international level. As an association, we have an advantage of accessing the pool of experts, not only in the East African region. You've just seen Mark Abagabi take us through the ESC award. You've also seen Mr. Alia from Tanzania. We are missing the Kenyans online. So, but we have a pool of experts, not only in the ESC region, but as well in Europe. So we are able to access any experts we require to make sure that we deliver the service that meets your requirements. The association is also welcoming. From the introductions in this room, we've had people who have done lots of projects, and they are also in for quality. We are glad to welcome you, the association, to become a member of the association. The association has also undertaken one assignment since its inception. We are not very old. We are about a year old, but we've taken on one assignment with the Wenzori Sustainable Trade Center in the Rwenzori region. This training took place in Fort Portal, where the association equipped a number of cooperatives with skills and knowledge in quality cost production and systems improvement. I would also like to thank the ITC country coordinator in Uganda, Madam Juliet Naziwa Musoke. She's been very instrumental in getting us where we are. She's really pulled us. We are quite busy. Various organizations. Every day we have lots of things to run around, But Margaret keeps knocking on our door that we need to get together. We need to put Uganda on map so that we can also have a vibrant association in Uganda. With those remarks, I believe by the end of today, we should be able to know what is the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda. We are getting to the next stage where some of the quality champions will be able to demonstrate what they acquired in the last 2 years. We are able to see, and then we are able to get yes, to say yes, there is an impact. There is something that we can put up as the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda. With those remarks, I do warmly welcome you, and I believe you will enjoy the launch of the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda Limited. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, Uganda Quality Association of Uganda Limited, for those warm remarks. From the chairman's remarks, I noted he mentioned that there are several partners, especially companies that participated in this program. I'm going to take a moment to recognize those companies that are here, as well as those that are on their way, but also for the QCs that successfully participated in this program. We have companies like Africa Coffee Academy, we have Kogisu Cooperative Union, we have Central Coffee Farmers Association, Secofa, Coffee Gardens, we have Kakuto Coffee Gourmet Program, Kakode from Rakai, Kasamba Farm Agro Enterprises Limited, Kibinge Coffee Farmers Cooperative Society, Imco Processors Limited, Masha Quality Holdings, Mbali Arabica Coffee Roasters Limited, Mount Elgon Agroforestry Communities Cooperative. We have also companies that participated in the cocoa chains. I'm going to share those soon after. We don't want to leave out our new babies on the block. I think everybody nowadays is talking about cocoa. It's a new baby on the block. If you have projects, I think you should focus on cocoa. I know coffee and tea have been here for a while, but the new baby on the block is cocoa. And we hope with this program, we shall get to know more about cocoa, as well as also getting also to add value to our products out there and also inward. The keyword is domestic consumption. We have also QCs that participated in the program. Some of them, we have them here with us. We have Mr. Godfrey Nono, Mr. Antonio Semakalu, the chairman himself, Mr. Sima, Mr. Elliott. I, for one, also was a QC participating in the same program. We have also the QCs that are still on their way. And some of them, well, did not complete the journey, but they were passionate enough. The importance of having a quality association, as also as we engage into the quality programs. We shall also talk more as we go along to reveal the partners, but we have also companies that participated that will also show that their interest in ensuring that we have quality systems, as well as improve efficiency and productivity in our companies for sustainability and business growth. I want to take this moment to invite our coach. I think that is the word. He has been really instrumental in supporting the QCs, right from the inception of the QC program, the recruitment processes, going through the applications for both the QCs as well as for the companies, as well as also following up to ensure that we have effective participation, and also coordinating with the trainers. We had trainers coming in from Europe, we had trainers on Zoom. It was one of those few experiences. We used to think it was impossible to have a class online, but thanks to COVID, we have learned the hard way. If you don't change, change will change you. So we have been able to learn online and also do exams. That's the critical part. Whenever they say there's an exam, a learning check, people would go for coffee to calm the nerves, and yet coffee also increase some of them to have a bit of higher temperatures. But it was an interesting experience. I want to take this opportunity to welcome Juliet Naziwa, the QC, the ITC. I'm so much into QC, the ITC representative. for Uganda, as well as markup project coordinator. Welcome, Madam Julie.
Morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning as part of the bigger network of the bigger actors and stakeholders within the coffee and cocoa sector under the markup project. Markup is market access program, and we started here in Uganda in 2019. At the outset, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate, to celebrate with the Quality Assurance Association in a journey of 3.5 years. And out of this journey, we have tangible outcome. We have a quality association. And of course, they'll be talking about themselves as we go along, and they'll be talking about themselves as we go along. I do have my colleague, Margaret Founder, who will be able to also come on board online and give more details about the quality component and also share the celebratory messages. So, ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, or our guest of honors, because of all our guests, CEOs of the SMEs, of the coffee and cocoa SMEs that are here, and other sectors, value chain. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today to talk about the markup project. Most importantly, to look at the journey where we have started from and where we are right now. The project, as mentioned, in Uganda, it started 2019. It is implemented by the International Trade Center, and it covers the East African region. And within the East African region, we have a cross-cutting value chain, and that is coffee. But also within the other East African countries, they have priority value chains that they are actually undertaking. And in Uganda, the next value chain that we undertook is cocoa. We have done this through results, what we call result areas. And those result areas are on enhanced capacity to advocate for the removal of sector trade barriers within cocoa and coffee, looking at export competitiveness enhanced for these sectors. And this is where the quality component, the quality improvement component falls. And then the business development capacities improved for the sectors. And this is where we're looking at not only the SMEs, but we're also looking at the trade support institutions that provide services to these SMEs to build their capacity, especially in addressing service client-based needs that the SMEs need. What has been our approach at ITC within this project? We have conducted studies, and in this aspect, we conducted a study on cocoa. We have done curriculums within both coffee and cocoa, and specific aspects of the sectors that we are training in terms of coffee trading, risk management, in terms of IMS, internal management systems, and other curriculum development that we have been using to train and coach the SMEs. We have, after the training in particular, we provide coaching and advisory services. And within the training period that we had, coaching took more time. We will have training, for a period, but the coaching would take a minimum of 6 to almost 9 months. So that is an approach. We have had partners, and we still have partners within the project. UCDA is the focal point. The Uganda Coffee Development Authority is the focal point for the markup project here in Uganda, and is very key in this implementation and also in reporting back the successes as well. We have NACORI, the National Coffee Organization, a research institute focusing on research within coffee and cocoa. Then the Transformational Business Network that focused on access to finance component, on training and coaching. The African Coffee Academy in developing curriculum and also in assisting us to put together the advocacy position papers in order to identify the obstacles and also prioritize them and also advocate for them. And then we have UCF, Uganda Coffee Federation. These were and are still the main actors on advocacy and lobbying. And then I missed out the private sector foundation Uganda that is actually hosting and managing the financing gateway that will also soon launch going forward. So that is our scope. And for those of you who have been with us, I'm glad that the SMEs that are here today can identify with the scope that we have taken during this period. When we're looking at the market, what was our guiding principles? We're looking at improving barriers to trade and focusing on improving the policy advocacy and lobbying strength of UCF. We're also looking at strengthening the trade facilitation portals. I believe all of you by now are aware of the Uganda trade portal. If you're an exporter or you intend to become an exporter or you are looking forward to become an exporter, this is the portal that you need to go to find the necessary information that will guide you on that process. Improving awareness of the market. So we have the opportunity to support our SMEs to go to the market and understand and appreciate the EU market in particular, but also the regional market, the East African regional market. And then improving information sharing. There are a number of platforms that we have developed that you can actually go to and find that information. And for access, we have had component access to finance, and we have quite a number of people that have benefited from that component and they're able to access financial support through this coaching that we have been able to provide. Linking companies to the East African region market and the EU, strengthening the trade support institutions. We're looking at Export Promotion Board, we're looking at UCDA, we're looking at General Investment Authority. These are the areas that the institutions that you go to when you're doing business, and especially export business. And of course, improving export capacities. And I've had a number of things. I'm going to share that as we go along and have a look at how far we have come. And then upgrade. And this is where the component, why we're celebrating today, the quality assurance, by improving the quality and standards within the SMEs and of course, value addition. Basically, the focus in Uganda is QUAAUL and coffee. And of course, other sectors within the region has been avocado, horticulture, tea, and spices. So regionally to date, what have we been able to achieve? If you could go back, please. Those are our achievements. Those are our achievements for the period of for the last 3.5 years. We have 10 cases of trade policies and regulations improved through advocacy, facilitated trade. And if for some of you who are coffee SMEs and you are already on the WhatsApp group that UCF put together, this is where we are coming from in terms of improving and strengthening the policy advocacy. And I believe the capacity has been built to actually undertake that activity very well. Regionally, we have 113 quality champions. Of course, those are the ones that we're able to start with and the ones that we're able to complete with 80 quality champions, among which are Ugandans, and then 4 national quality associations, of which the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda belong to. We're happy to say that we are through the access to finance component that we have had a number of Ugandan companies accessing financing of not less than $100,000 to be able to improve processes and standardized processes within their companies and improve the quality of both coffee and cocoa. In Uganda, you have had one of our company, INEA, Dorothy, she's here. INEA is a beneficiary of the matching grant under the national window in order to improve processes, quality processes and standards within the cocoa sector. So what have we achieved in Uganda to date? What you see there is the activities, the training areas that we have focused on for the 3.5 years within Uganda, but these ones cut across within the region. And when you look at these areas, you have access to finance, you have marketing and packaging, you have you have internal management systems to do with certification, you have contracts, logistics, shipping and risk management, you have quality management training, which we have here today. We have also had cocoa specific trainings, and these include sensory evaluation techniques, post-harvest handling, focusing on fermentation skills and techniques. We have done trainings on all plantation rehabilitation and preservation. We have also done areas of value addition on chocolate making within the cocoa sector. And then for the coffee sector, those that are specific have looked at focusing on support, farmer support and service delivery component, coffee washing station processing practices and techniques, resource efficiency and circular production, and then sensory coffee association, looking at green coffee, looking at roasting and the related sensory skills within the coffee sector. These are the trainings that we have had. What we want to be proud of as ITC is that the sectors, the value chain, have responded big numbers to apply and attend these trainings. What we are proud of is that after the training, we have followed up and we have had a number of SMEs where we have handheld them, have coached them, and they have actually seen results as we'll see going forward. So the chart shows you in blue the numbers that we are trained, and then looks orange there, or red, the number of SMEs that attended, and then in gray, the number of SMEs that were able to handhold and coach during this process. So we are proud that as we're coaching, training and coaching the SMEs, that out of that we have been able to coach and inspire and motivate the quality champions to start a professional association of quality experts. And we're here today to celebrate with them. We're here today as we launch this association. And we invite, if you are a consultant, if you are an expert, to come and join and be part of this association, because we would like to grow a group of experts within Uganda related to quality. Would like to be one of the actors within the national infrastructure, quality infrastructure within the country. So we're looking forward to having you join this association, coming and working together with us in ITC as we build the capacity of SMEs to export and to focus on quality as they're exporting. I would like to leave you with these 4 things. And on your tables, there's a paper there that is detailing the success stories that we have been able to share during this period of 3.5 years, and also the links to the various tools, training materials that going forward the association will be able to use, but also you as SMEs that you can actually continue to use in order to grow and emphasize the quality processes and standardization within your SMEs. So with those few words, I would like to end here and thank you for inviting me to make these remarks. And I would like to congratulate the Quality Association for getting to this mileage. And thank you.
Thank you, Madam Juliet Naziwa, for those wonderful remarks, but also show us the insight. You know, we kept hearing markup, and most of us, I'll confess, I was one of those few culprits that when they say there's a markup project from the EU, we thought of money. And we went and signed up, but what we got was more than the money that we wanted. The skills are immeasurable, the experiences, and also the networks. For me, for one, I was able to get up in the mountains, the ones I kept hearing about. But I was able to get a journey to take me up to the mountains and spend a night or more in the mountains, enjoying the good, beautiful weather of Uganda. For our partners that we engaged in the QC program, we have those new ones, the ones that are still silent. When the coffee farmers are making noise, they are still silent. When the budget of UCD is reduced, they are still silent. But we have associations for cocoa and companies that participate in cocoa that participated in this program. Like we have Banyankole Kweterana, both coffee and cocoa. We have Mtungamo Coffee Growers and Traders Association, also do both coffee and cocoa. Kebisoni Coffee Farmers Cooperative Society, doing also cocoa. We have Kanungu Coffee Farmers Cooperative Society. We have Banyakinkizi Coffee Farmers Producers and Processors Cooperative doing, the one in there is coffee, but still they are doing both coffee and cocoa. Semlink Cooperative Society, Very Good Cocoa Products, and also Bunyoro Cocoa Farmers Cooperative. All these were beneficiaries of the ITC project for the markup program. We have a colleague online, Margareta Vanda. She's going to come in and give us an insight into the project and how also our experience was. Margareta was always mostly online, but a few times managed to make time, given the challenges in travel, to ensure that she's with us in Uganda in spirit as well as also online, to ensure that the program goes through, but also to interact, to get the experiences. That she was one of the few people who commended the Ugandan coffees. She hasn't tasted coffee like Ugandan coffee. I don't know that she takes chocolate from Uganda, but Margareta will tell us. Thank you very much. Welcome, Margareta.
Thank you very much, Robert. It's really a pleasure for me to be with you today. Today is a day to celebrate, and today we are celebrating a milestone, which is the official birth or the official launch of the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda. Now, the story began some years ago, and I had the pleasure of being part of this journey from the very beginning. And it's been a fascinating journey. Well, we heard about a project called Markup, which was is still funded by the EU. And the ultimate objective of this project is to help promote exports, in the case of Uganda, of Ugandan coffee and cocoa to the European Union and to the region. And quality, of course, is an important element of being successful on export markets. Quality is a moving target, quality is complex, quality is a journey. And it's about understanding market requirements, it's about understanding customer requirements, it's about being one step ahead. It's also about operating efficiently, effectively, using resources and being better than competitors out there. So it's a moving target and it's a journey. And in order to support Ugandan businesses on this quality journey, the Quality Champions program was included in the markup project. And through an open application process, those of you sitting in the room applied to engage, and you were selected based on 2 factors. You were selected based on your background and your experience, but another equally important factor was your commitment to serve and to engage on a long-term basis. And I think it's, again, the result of that commitment and engagement that we are seeing here today, because we have many people with good experience, but the combination of really great experience with a commitment to serve is very, very precious and is not everywhere. So I really want to commend and congratulate you to having been through this journey with us. You were taken through a series of workshops, you implemented a project in a company, and this happened just as the global COVID pandemic hit the world in unprecedented ways. Nobody could have foreseen this. Nobody knew really how to deal with that. And we had, of course, also in terms of our program, we had to adapt and find ways and react on the spot to see how we could move forward. And looking back, of course, it was challenging. It meant longer, it meant delays, it meant really asking ourselves, how can we move ahead and finding new models? But I think we came out stronger out of this journey. And I think thanks to the deeper engagement of you, Robert, and you, Rogers, I think we also anchored perhaps a new dynamic in the Ugandan team. And I think looking back, it was a beautiful journey. And I know that the personal journey for many of the QCs was a very, very interesting one. And I would also say that I think that you've seen that by engaging, by serving, by helping others to grow and develop, we also grow and develop. It's really a win-win setting. We engage, we give, we learn, we keep learning, we keep giving. It's a positive spiral and it's a positive journey. And today we have 14 QC graduates in Uganda. And I hope that over time we will actually have more QCs. And I hope that we will keep building a movement for quality, because the country needs that. Every country needs a quality movement. And quality is needed for businesses. It's also needed for all walks of life. It's needed for public services. And it's actually something that can be applied to all aspects, I would say, of society. Now, the concept of quality associations was actually not something that was built into the markup project as such. It happened along the way. We were discussing about institutional anchoring, or how to connect the QCs to each other, how to connect them possibly to existing institutions. We were also noting that there weren't really any professional bodies in East Africa. And whereas in many other countries, there would be, in most countries, I would say, there are national quality associations. And these have a very important role to play. And thanks to these little triggers, and then we started picking up on how could this be done. We brought in some experts on with experience. And the result is that we now have seen the birth of 4 national quality associations in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Rwanda, and in Kenya. And we have 1 actually underway in Burundi. So in some time, I hope that we will have 5 actually in the 5 countries covered by markup. Due to COVID, we couldn't have the big meeting that we'd hoped to bring everybody together. Hearing noises that there will be a markup 2 time in the future, perhaps next year. I don't have any confirmation, but I know it's being discussed, and I'm hoping very much that there'll be opportunities to connect the different national teams. But until then, of course, just as we are doing today, we are connecting virtually. We have learned to live virtually, and you are connected, and this has also been highlighted. You are connected with the teams in the other countries, and I think that's also a strength for everybody, that you have a national network, but you're also actually part of a regional network, and this is really, really fantastic. Now, I worked many years ago in Singapore. I worked a lot in Asia, and I worked also in Singapore. And one particularity that we discussed there with small businesses was that when things got tough, or when the economy went down, which of course it goes up and down always, then what did the Singaporean companies do? Well, they invested in the future. They invested in learning and development. They invested in preparing to get stronger and to get better. And whereas in many other countries, one would see a drop in investment in training when things get tough. And I thought that was such a visionary way of acting. And I would invite companies or representatives of institutions that are there today to reflect on this quality journey and how you can be part of it. It is dynamic by definition. It is a movement. And by sitting back and saying, I'm good enough, I'm not going to change, we are not really going to succeed as much as we could into the future. So I would invite you to just to benefit from connecting with the services that the QUAAUL will be offering, and engage with that, and perhaps also be part of it in one way or the other. I think this would be a very, very interesting opening to learning and to continuous development, both at personal level and at business, enterprise, institutional level. So just an open invite to do that. I'm also very, very proud to see the institutional linkering. I'm very proud to see the connection with the Africa Coffee Academy, also hosting the association. I think that's a wonderful, strong relationship. I know that also very strong relationship with UCDA and with other partners that we've been hearing about being mentioned today, and perhaps also others that haven't been mentioned. I think also partnering, working together is also part of this quality journey that we are all on. Now, I would like to really congratulate and celebrate the Ugandan Association and to thank each and every one that has contributed to making this happen. Out there, of course, the EU has made the project happen, and I would like to thank them. I would like to thank the ITC team who's been involved. I would like to thank Juliet for your wonderful commitment and work as national coordinator. I would like to thank each and every one of the QCs and how you have really been on this journey and continue to be on this journey. And I would like to also invite individuals to engage with this journey and to become part of it. Now, I'm from Northern Europe and from Sweden. And in Sweden, well, we have, sometimes in the winter, we have snow. And I don't know if you've heard about the snowball effect. You may have had. Now, I've made a lot of snowballs in my life. And the particularity is that, you know, you take a little bit of snow in your hands, you make a little ball, and you put it in the snow, and then you keep rolling it. And just by rolling it, it's actually very easy. You don't need to do anything. You just need to keep rolling it, and it keeps growing. And in the end, you know, you have a big ball like this, and then you can put one on top of the other, and you can build very interesting and beautiful things with these snowballs. And that's what we call the snowball effect. And I would really invite you to think like that, it's by engaging and by connecting that we can build. And as we now have this very important momentum, I think we have built a big snowball, and I wish the Ugandan Association, the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda, I wish you a very, very long and healthy life, and I wish you lots of success stories and successful moments. Warmest congratulations on behalf of the whole ITC team and all of us who are not with us today, the trainers and the experts and the coaches that are there, will continue to be there in the background to support you all into the future. Our warmest congratulations from all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Margarita, and we hope we shall continue rolling and we shall reach an avalanche. We want to recognize the presence of Mr. Kaboye Francis Robert. Our guest has arrived. As we wait to go to the next session, somebody made a type of error of say, a missed coffee. And we want to take this moment to have a coffee break. One gentleman told me, never miss an opportunity in case you are able to take advantage of that opportunity. Right in front of us, we have a few products and some of the beneficiaries from the IGC backup project. We have Masha Coffee, 2 brands, Specialty Arabica, roasted, as well as Uganda's Fine Arabica. I think this is not specialty, that's why it doesn't have that word specialty. And we have the new baby on the block, still crawling, but at least we are making the initiative. Promise Royal Cocoa Powder. We are moving forward. Cocoa, welcome. And still, I noted in-house, I noted some marketing cocoa. So there is at least a affirmative action, and there is a drive towards that. Right in front of us, we have panelists. We have Mr. Frederick Mugerwa or Kikobero. Welcome. We shall have a story from each of these people that are bringing their products so that we are able to know the story behind the product in front of us. On the panel here, we have Mr. Frederick Mugerwa. Mr. Mugerwa is a scientist, food quality and safety, as well as biological and environmental, with skills in environmental sciences. He has a demonstrated history, working with goods and beverages, as well as the construction industry. The man is really not leaving out any gap. He's skilled in management, as well as beverages, fish and sugar, processes in quality control and assurance, and as well as quality improvement for market access. He's ITC certified. That's really strong. It's ITC certified. He has certificates in the Bosch and Asia for professional safety and environmental, as well as social safeguards and experiences, biosciences, with a master's in science of food, with a Master of Science in Food Sciences and Technology at the University of Jambo, Mr. Frederick Mugerwa. We have Mr. Hiro Ronald Clark. I don't know if I'm getting the arrangement right. Mr. Hiro joined Renzori Sustainable Trading Center right from the inception. He's the board secretary, and he has been active as a general manager, as well as a very experienced man in money management. He has a bachelor's degree in business administration and accounting from Makere University, and a diploma in tax practice and administration. Okay, this man is contact, especially for those who know taxes and IFRS. He has the name of the certified Institute of Certified Accountants in Uganda, and he has worked over years with French consulting in finance and administration before he joined RSTC. For those who want consulting assignments, he's right here with you. For those who want to know, especially with the new system of IFRS, I think he's the man to get to give you more insight on how to be compliant. We have Sylvia, the only lady on the table. I think the right here from Queen. Sylvia is the CEO and founder of Masha Quality Holdings Limited. She oversees the running of the company. She has one female technical manager. She's really trying to ensure that women get into the business. Women, please, we need more women into the business. She also postgraduate degree in public health and also diploma in project planning and management from Uganda Management Institute. She has several years, over 6 years of experience in the public sector, and leads a team of 20 employees. I believe the biggest percentage are women in this case. We have Mr. Idrissa Senukuma from Native Group of Companies. The acronym is NAGO. It's uniquely positioned as the Ugandan agribusiness industry, getting high quality cocoa and vanilla. High quality cocoa. I think this is the person we need to go to. We have been told that there is the new market for specialty cocoa, and Uganda is
one of the few countries in the world that produce specialty cocoa. So I think we need to get more information on this and also on how to encourage our people to take more cocoa. Have one person making cocoa, but we need to increase the number. I know that coffee people also feel threatened at the moment, but for now, don't get worried. We shall try chocolate also on the other side. Mr. Serukoma has a mission to put Ugandans and the cocoa industry on the spotlight of exquisite markets and guarantee full traceability and sustainability their partners across the cocoa value chain. NAGO has benefited from the MACA project since 2021, and they have been able to deliver exports to Kuwait. That's Elsa. They have been able to deliver products to Kuwait and Belgium, and have also got networks and methods in Europe as well as other partners. We have online a lady, she's not there. We have an online lady, Madame Efrance. Efrance is a Polish champion. She is key and she's interested. She has been moved by the whole program in that she has said to ensure that she uses her skills to improve her projects as well as service delivery in the company that she works with, but also to support SMEs to ensure that they improve their efficiency and effectiveness in service delivery. Madam Efrance, you're welcome. We are going to have an experience sharing session on how our partners, all our beneficiaries enjoy the processes and how they are going to share with us the journey that they took with the QC MACA program. The briefing from our ITC coordinator, the grant coordinator, she informed us that the coaching program moved over 6 months, some went up to 9 months, and given the challenges that we had with lockdown, some of them went ahead beyond 9 months. But we are going to start with Efrance, who is online, in case the network goes off, at least we shall have heard from her. And Efrance, we want to hear from you.
Thank you very much. I'm listening in. I have a disturbance because I have to check out of my hotel because I'm charged more, but I'm happy to be on the panel. Thank you.
Yes, Efrance, we are going to start with you. We want you to share with us your best moments, especially as a quality champion, when you are doing when you are coaching the companies that you work with as well as the training, but also in that process of sharing with us those best moments. What were those things that moved you, that you think were your best takeaways during the Quality Champions program? Efrance, please.
Thank you very much, moderator. According to the questions that you have asked, I worked with a company called Banyachinchizi, and it is up in Kanungu. The interesting moment I had with them, that this is a company that was enthusiastic, and they have a group of farmers, more than 1,000 farmers who are producing for their company. They have a coffee hara. By the time I joined them, they had not installed it, but eventually they installed it. And being a remote area, it was quite challenging to reach there. I remember I spent a day and a night in a bus trying to reach them. But fortunately, they were welcoming and they had a vision and a mission, which we tried to define. But I realized, much as they had many farmers, there was a problem in mindset change. And you know, coffee, the way it is traded, they had competitors around them. And those competitors were not minding about the quality issues. So they were being challenged by that competition. And also, they lacked the equipment, although when we sat around the table, the issue was not the equipment, it was something else. the quality of their coffee was determined right from the field, and yet the farmers that were supplying them were facing difficulties in making sure that their coffee meets the requirement. And also they had a problem of buyers. The buyers were all moving around and they did not mind whether they are drying coffee to the right moisture content. But eventually we overcame that and they were able to produce quality coffee. And in the region, they were supported by Farm Africa. And as I heard from my fellow champions, they were the first to produce, to mill their coffee using the facility that Farm Africa gave them. So during training, as I was training, I was thinking, in coffee, where does the quality start? How does the company or the farmers ensure that the quality attributes are met? But I realized when you are looking at an agricultural product and quality is determined through a process, the challenge that our farmers have is that production and post-harvest handling are the ones that determine what the quality of the product will be. So we worked out that and we developed a standard operating procedure. And by the time I left them, they were able to produce at least some good coffee. The last time we determined the kind of quality, at least it had improved by around 20%. And the quality was determined by the amount of beans that had defects, the molding, but I left the company when it was happy. But during the training, the skill I acquired is, if you know where your customer is, you must deliver the quality that they require. But there are certain challenges that our companies have. And this is including human resource. And when you say human resource, they will think about, how about money? How about if I got a lorry to ferry all the coffee to the company? How about if I train the farmers to produce quality coffee? But I realized since the companies don't consider, or they are not in touch with the consumers of the product, what they are up to is to make sure they produce quantity. And there was a gap in there whereby the company buying for export goes ahead again to the sorted part is a loss. We discussed with the company and we tried to make sure at least the quality improves so that that loss that is incurred in the middle there is minimized. So the company was working out that. But what was fascinating was the business acumen the company had. They were able to go and negotiate the price. Although the price they got, much as it was good, the aspect of quality was not handled very well before we discussed with them or before I interacted with them. So the training by saying, when you're doing business, make sure you deliver the right quantity to your customers, the right quality. And you have to do that efficiently, minimizing costs, ensuring that you are fast, you minimize wastage. Wastage can be in terms of probably there is a distance whereby there's time lag before the coffee comes from the field up to the company. And also the time lag, which is a factor that many companies have experienced as a challenge, is that the business models our companies have, factor in the time whereby by the time your product reaches your premise where you are packaging and delivering to your final customers, there is a challenge out there, and you require maybe an enabling environment where in a situation like Uganda, if you are remotely located, it is quite inefficient for the current business models that I've seen. So to enhance quality among our SMEs, the enabling environment has to be worked upon by the policymakers. So I realized as a person after learning so many things from the class, putting them to the ground requires commitment, and I'm glad that we have committed SMEs who are able to work upon that theory, to put it in practice so that our quality is improved and we are competitive enough in the internal and external market. Thank you very much. That is my submission.
Thank you, Francis. A powerful insight in terms of experiences of the juicy. Here in front of us, Francis, you have missed to be with us. We have juices. We have two juices. That is Mr. Onono and Mr. Frederick Mugerwa. They are here with us. And also they are with you in spirit in Rwanda. And also we have 3 beneficiaries, one from cocoa as well as 2 from coffee. I think Resort is also doing both coffee and cocoa. I think he saw the market ahead of time. The one will be, he saw the light. Mr. Mugerwa and Mr. Onono, we want to hear from you too. And we hope you can be able to give us your experiences in the juicy program, especially your best moments, and also what are those things that force you to think out of the box. I think the one is going the extra mile. Sometimes they call them challenges, but because of the sharpening edges that made you work ahead to ensure that you get this project out there.
Okay, thank you very much, Margareta. As already introduced, Frederick Mugerwa. I implemented during the time when we were being coached as quality champions, course projects, a company called Commodity Solutions. It's a secondary processor that also does exports. The first project, sub-project, was on data analysis. We went through their previous data and analyzed to look for any variations between the inspection of FAQ and graded coffee and the actuals they are getting, the actual outputs they are getting, because that is also analyzed. And we realized that there were differences in those results at inspection of FAQ and then the outputs. And mainly it was affecting the screen and tea grade, which had a variation of about between 30 to about 60% variation. And you all very well know that payments are based on the inspection. So internally there was a loss which we are trying to control. The second sub-project was on collecting data from the operations. And specifically, we're looking at the downtime of the production line. So there are issues to do with the maintenance that we picked up. There are issues to do with the spillages, which now have to be collected at the end of the shift and put back for reprocessing. That is downtime. We looked at very many issues, including the manpower requirements on the line. The third sub-project involved work standardization. And particularly, we were looking at compliance to food safety requirements. There were 2 customers that actually demanded for food safety systems to be put in place. And my presence as a coach at this facility was a blessing in disguise. We were able to pull off those requirements, and the customers validated the systems and therefore ensured market access. One in the US, another in Europe. The fourth sub-project was to collect feedback from the customers, where the destination of the coffee. So we developed a tool together with the team. Jokes was in support, and now there was a basis that we created, and the company is now able to solicit feedback on quality and service from the customers, and using those responses to focus improvements. So my best moments during the tenure was I presented this project at the Africa Fine Coffee Conference and Exhibition in Mombasa. That was around February 2020, where ITC put together a business clinic, several workshops, and were able to pass on these experiences at the SMEs. The others were the enterprise taking initiatives to invest both the financial and human resources on the projects we identified together with them. So they put in different maintenance improvements. They put in, we realized reductions in reworking of products. The company adopted the use of data to analyze their processes and focus improvements. The customer survey tool, which was developed and also shared on the platform of all the quality champions, was a basis now the company could use to focus their improvements. And then also, of course, the validation of the food safety system in this company. The other one, which is a bit off, I was invited, knowing that I'm now a quality champion, I was invited by New Bukumbi Coffee, far away in the Rwenzori sub-region, to support their fermentation. And when we did that, they exported 5 containers because the requirement was to meet the specialty assessment, which they met. And that was one of my best moments. I also supported one other secondary processor of coffee, and their food safety system was validated. Key takeaways. I think one of my strategies was to win the management support. So during the initial stages, I was assigned a member of the management team, as well as in the structure, there was a new position created. While this person was a logistics coordinator, now it was changed to food safety and logistics coordinator. So I had 2 people, both at the management level and the operations, to work with to push my project through. The food safety committee was also established, and of course, I could see very many improvements. The challenge definitely was the COVID pandemic, which actually at one time put this company out of operations, but they were back on their feet, and I was able to continue with. And there, in conclusion, there were recommendations that I left with the company, hoping they are working on them. And I would like to acknowledge Jokes, Margaret, Juliet, and Rogers for the support to push through my projects. Thank you.
Very interesting experiences. I've noted one key thing. The company was able to reduce all the losses by 30%. I think if you're making money, that's a lot of money saved. Mr. Mogera is part of the QC champions. In case you want to improve your efficiency at the factory, to get in touch with him. But they have a coordinator to go through the company processes. Thank you very much, Mr. Mogera. Mr. Onono, we are on your side. Can you share with us your experiences and also some of those things that you believe can be able to inspire us?
Yes, once again, under the names of Godfrey Onono, ITC trained project was to coach the Banyankole Kwetarana Cooperative Union. This union is located some 2 kilometers outside Mbarara town. Each time I have to go and take a bus to that end to carry out this assignment. Now, one clear thing which hit me on my first visit to the union was that the union was going through a big challenge, a financial challenge. They happened to export about 9 containers of their coffees to Iran. It so happened that Iran was undergoing sanctions, so their money was captured there. So that was the first stumbling block I got during there. So there was little money to do day-to-day operations. Now, as a world champion, you have been trained to think outside the box. The project has to go on. So I did what we call a process flow for the entire union. The union was founded many years ago in the 1940s. And it has gone through a series of setbacks. They suffered the 1979 Liberation War never did them well. Some of the assets were looted, part of the factory was destroyed. They thank God that the early 80s, they managed to install a new processing line, a Bula-made machinery, very good state-of-the-art machinery. That's one good strength of the union. Another thing, they boast a big farmer base covering the greater Ankole region, the greater Ankole before the districts are divided. So they have a big pool of farmers to supply them with coffees. And you know, the situation with farmers is that if you are not able to pay them money, they are also hesitant to deliver coffees to you. So in my situation, the project I had in hand was to look, what can I do? What can we do as the food, the quality management safety team we can put in place? So the first thing we had to do was look at the documentation within the company. Because this company had lost business, they failed to get certification because of their documentation system. So I found that that was a good area where we could intervene. So what did we do? The union was capturing information for their incoming coffees, their raw materials into the union, but the data was so scanty. No detailed information was obtained. They comprised of 6 primary societies delivering to the union. So there's no distinction between the quality of coffee coming from one society to the other and to the next. So I had to draft a format for analyzing all incoming coffees to the union, so that in case of there's a quality problem, we are able to trace it back to the society from which the coffee is coming. So that was the first assignment we did. We made a format for analyzing all incoming coffees. Then, when we looked at the in-process control of the coffees, there was very little data that was available. You can find that there's only a single data for the grading process throughout the entire batch. So what we need to do was to sit down and draw the standard operating procedures for the different processes. Where processes like pre-cleaning, destoning, grading. So we had to look at the frequency of monitoring, set out boundaries for the different stages of production so that they are ably followed. So this is what an auditor will never look for. How frequent do you monitor your grading? How frequent do you look at your destoning? How frequent do you look at your pre-cleaning? So all these formats, we managed to draft to the team and put them into place, ready to be used. So we looked at final product analysis. Because when you produce your coffee, at the end, you export it. But now, what you export, how assure, and you need to have that element of quality assurance. So you need to do the product analysis. So we also formulated a format for analyzing the product before being shipped. So this product analysis is also supported by what a UCDA quality certificate. So that in case of a buyer complaint, you have your reference that, okay, this batch we processed, this was the outcome. You have a basis. So that's what we are trying to put in place. Quality assurance in the system. So we also looked at the warehousing, the cleanliness of the environment. So we also went ahead to format a cleaning schedule. There was cleaning being done, but there was no record to show for it. It's normally say that if it's not written, then it's not done. They don't say that document what you do and do what you have documented. So that's what the culture was trying to instill in this union here. Then we look at things like fumigation. We needed to have a data capturing system for fumigation. Fumigation was being done, but no data was being captured. So people who would like to certify the company for food safety are so much interested in such data and details. So we looked at also, we instituted a rodent monitoring tool. When you have warehouses, you always have vices of rats and all those things there. But how do you monitor that they are there or they're absent? So design a monitoring tool. How do you monitor, for example, for rodents? You check on the droppings. Are your bugs destroyed? Have you sighted a live rat? Have you sighted a dead rat? So all those ones are tabulated, so you know what actions to take. Because when these rats damage the bugs, they are very costly. That's a very big loss to the business. At least we instituted that one in place. Then another thing is, one of the projects we also established a traceability system. Okay, this batch of coffee which has been processed is coming from which sources? You cannot have the exact details of every farmer. But if I say that this batch of coffee came from site A, site B, site C. The site A, site B, site C has their farmer registry. So the coffee can easily be traced to the sources. So the lot of the coffee being loaded out came from which batch? That traceability system was put in place. So despite the challenges which the union had, we might have put in place a good document system that they're able to use continually. So for any further certification requirements, they'll be able to do certification at least. So that is the part which I played during my coaching exercise with Banyankole Kwekarana. I need to appreciate ITC, Juliet, for supporting me in carrying out all these activities. Thank you.
Mr. Gordon, for us who are in coffee exports, especially when you have bought a bale of bags, you didn't want to go and take on your bale of about 360, 700 bags, and the road has been claimed. So you need to have these systems in place. And I've really noted that one of the key things is documentation. Most of us who are joining into the sector, we tend to forget to document. Most of us have the misconception. If I write, I will see losses. But those losses will help you to analyze your business and make it work better. We want to look at the companies that benefited from this program and want to hear their experiences on how their processes, they went through the processes and how this program has supported them. We are going to start with you, Mr. Tikiro. What to share? We have partners here that did not participate in the program.
and they don't know what really transpired, what really got you into the program, and also how Resort Sustainable was before participating in the program and how company has been able to transform. Maybe paint for us a picture, the before and after of being into the HSC program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert. Once again, my name is Ronald from the Resort Sustainable Center. Maybe a brief background of I'll now refer to as RSTC. But the name is quite long, so we prefer to call it the RSTC. The RSTC was incorporated in November 2015, but we had been in the picture much longer, about 6 years before. That is 2008. We started as a small team of consultants that were engaged by a European company under its corporate social responsibility program, where they identified communities within the Resort region that are extremely hard to reach. I don't know if you're familiar with that mountain. Places that you can hardly walk in a day. You have communities, you have people living there and have lives. They're living, they're sustaining their lives. Some government programs never reach them. So these communities are there. You find kids in altitudes of 1800s, but have to slope down to fetch water to attend primary school education. So a child wakes up in the morning, they have first go down, fetch water, bring it up, and thereafter walk down to school. So by the time the child reaches school, they're actually worried about education and they drop out. So the program came mainly to actually support the child education through constructing schools in the hard communities. Those schools were constructed in 12 communities in the Resort. But after constructing the schools, we conducted evaluation and realized that the enrollment was still very low, especially for the child. So kids were still not going to school, and we later realized that apart from not having schools in the communities, there was also an issue of poverty. So these kids were involved in, but they prefer to stay in farms to provide food for their own kids. So that's when we conducted an evaluation and realized that other these communities had strong economic activities that were not empowered, and most of which was coffee, cocoa, and cotton now. So that's when we came up with a new program to actually promote these valuations. And we started by grouping these small communities into groups, which later became associations, and later about 6 cooperatives. Which 6 of them actually are in coffee, and the 7th, one of them is doing coffee and cotton. The 7th cooperative is in cocoa, which is so the cooperatives are in Kasese, Kaurori, and Kongutu, but mountains. So after forming these cooperatives, they are running very well. Program ends, and the funding of the European company, of course, has to come to an end 6 years later. So that's when we formed the RSTC, actually sustain this good work that has been done. So RSTC forms an agency relationship with these cooperatives that we started up. So as they are open this, we think that we should be there to support them, but yet we also want them to be independent. So we offer them support through identifying markets for their produce, we try to get them credit, affordable credit, training. So that's through all our efforts is how we came across the markup project in 2019. And that was through the marketing skills training. We applied and were invited to Nairobi. And I participated myself. We were trained and we participated in the World of Coffee in Berlin. I can tell you that's when we opened ourselves to market. Previously, we were bulking at 1 container in a season, which we take to UK. And it's only our partners that provide coffee from us. When we reached Berlin, we realized that actually we have a potential that we have. That's when we created a website, that's when we created these cards, QAAUL, systems, cooperatives also design their own websites, all these will be from markup project.
we exposed ourselves to the rest of the market of the world. So we continued to, we learned about certification, so got our cooperatives fair trade certified, and one of them actually recognized organic certified. Cocoa came later, but our focus was on coffee, because coffee was came to us. So from 2019, when we first interacted with the backup project, continued to work with them. Madam Julie has already sent us invitations for all the kinds of training. And I can tell you we participated in quite a number of them. Coffee sensory, green, bean, and roast, August 2019. So you can imagine the whole of 2019 we interacted with backup. From Berlin, we went into sensory. Yeah. And we improved our quality greatly. And through all this training, I would be involved, but I also tried my level best to see that I engaged the other members, RSGC and the cooperatives. Almost all my secretary managers have had an opportunity to be trained by the backup project, both in cocoa and in coffee. And I've also had my own share. I could say I've had the largest share, but I've also had my better part. We've been able to be trained in coffee sensory and coffee. Coffee and cocoa. So we can easily tell different attributes of good quality coffee and cocoa. And not just myself, but the cooperatives. Specifically in cocoa, we've had one of our members benefit here before, Peter Marahi, who is very familiar with cocoa. We were trained, I think in 2021 in October. And through this training, we were able to represent, I would say, the region and the country at a very big chocolate exhibition. Is it in Paris? Yes, in Paris, November 2021. And I'm told Peter did extremely well. And he has brought the skills back to the cooperative. Now let me take you to the challenges we had before we go through this training. We have only one cooperative in cocoa. I'll not dwell so much on coffee because coffee, we have 6 cooperatives and they've had a lot of opportunities. But cocoa, as a cooperative, from inception, we are fermenting our cocoa. And for those that are in cocoa, you know the challenges of fermentation. And we're fermenting at the cooperative level. So we get cocoa that is unfermented into the fermentation process. I can tell you, we have the capacity of about 10 containers, but we only do one container here. Just one single container. Not because the cocoa is not there, but because of the challenge of fermentation and the skills that we had at that time. So we have this training. We learned that we can actually take this to the household level, to the family level. So Peter, as an individual, and Lazarus, who most of you have met, people don't afford themselves to go and train the individual farmers at their homes. They don't ferment cocoa. So now we'll bring fermented cocoa to the cooperative. We've only trained this for one season, and I can tell you are now able to do 4 containers. From one container, just one season, and and by then we only selling our cocoa to Italy, now we're selling to Germany. And we believe that this coming season of this year, we should be able to do about 8 containers as just one single cooperative. And remember, this is specialty cocoa. So the prospects for the cooperatives are so high. At one point, when Kakeba was giving up on us, thought we were letting them down. We're not big enough. For them, why would you export only one container, yet they are able to do 4 and more? But we tell them, you cannot. The quality, you can't get the quality of the specifications for specialty cocoa. So now we're able to do that. And we also had a very good internal quality management training. And when this training was brought to us, we're also going through organic certification. And you know what certification means? It means you have to have very good internal management systems. So we're actually looking for a funder to support us in this at the placing of the market project here. So now we have very good internal management systems which are supporting our organic certification. It has been renewed. We don't have any troubles in
reapplying for the certification. So Vodka Kemba is both fair trade and organic certified. Probably maybe the only one in the region. I don't know. Some are coming about, but at least it's not doing that for some time. Yeah. So the benefits are enormous. We've enjoyed other trainings in coffee, marketing and logistics management, mention that a few. With marketing and contracting, actually, let me give you my personal experience. I don't know if any of you have sold coffee to the USA. It's one of the most difficult markets, I can say, for our coffee. But the skills that we go through the backup project were very helped us to actually know how to negotiate with these people, these Americans. And right now, we sent 2 boxes in the US. However, during the lockdown, when everybody was challenged to do that. And there's resilience we picked from these trainings and the confidence that they built. Personally, I've had no experience in coffee, but these trainings have given me so much experience. And have given me a network of friends that I consult here on a daily basis. I have a very big WhatsApp group here. We have friends that when you just type in coffee, you see a whole line of friends that I didn't have before 2019. So there's a lot that we benefited from this, and I can't speak until the cows come about ITC and the backup project. But in a nutshell, I must say that we are very different from who we are one day, and we look forward to continue good relationships. If the program can continue, but if it doesn't, I've left us a very good team. Now, it's a short story about the Quality Assurance and Assurance Association Uganda Limited. Those are a very long name, just like our company. Even the abbreviation is very difficult to QAAUL. Yeah. QUAAUL. So when QUAAUL was registered, we had an opportunity to wanted to try out high-value micro-lots, I could say, specialty coffees that score at the highest grades, so that you can sell micro-lots. Because during the lockdown, we realized that we cannot entirely depend on contracts. But these small micro-lots at a high value, so keep cooperatives running. So that's when we invited the association to trade our cooperatives in that is September 2021, and they were very generous. Yeah. At the lowest cost you can imagine. Yeah, from what we paid, you have paid probably 10 times more for the money received. They came for 2 days and trained our farmers at both room and in the field, and they never left them the same. So as we speak, we have been able to send 60 bags to London, to roaster in London, and products, and at the best price we ever sold out, and they scored very well. And we're doing this in partnership with the cooperative in Rwanda, through one of our partners in the UK, and we're extremely excited about that. And so there's a lot we benefited, but for say it all, but I can nutshell, we are blessed to have accountant ITC here. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's really amazing. One of the scholars that I tend to listen to said one thing that really touched me. He said, there's only one thing in the world that you're allowed to steal. You're allowed to steal an idea. So, Mr. Higiro, I think there are many people out here now taking notes, and they are stealing your ideas. But we hope that the ideas that will implement will also make an improvement to the livelihoods of the people that they are going to work with. Especially these things are really touched me. I call those. These things we keep hearing about them, but I think we shall come to you for more experiences on that and how we have been able to make it through. We have had colleagues from Masakao TV, they have been producing coffee. I think that's one of the areas that they want to ensure that they get their coffee being out there. We have colleagues from Rainbow Coffee, from women. They want to have their women coffee out there as a micro load, not mixed up with all this taka of coffee. The move, especially during the times of the lockdown, to be able to move coffee out of Uganda, accessing new markets. I think this is what Juliet was alluding to, what the market program was all about. You're able to do exhibitions to access those new markets and also to identify opportunities. To know that from this point forward, I'm moving from 1 box to 4 boxes, and now targeting 8 boxes. I think, Juliet, you need to get QAAUL introduction, the story for the others also to learn on the success. I want to continue with the cocoa story, and I want to engage my neighbor here, Idrissa. Idrissa, you know, most of us, I think 70 to 90% of the room here are addicted to cocoa, but we shall change them. We shall preach the gospel. And since Ronald has mentioned cocoa, I want to turn to you and get your experiences and also your story. What moved you to get into to ensure that you get into the ITC program? What were those challenges that you have seen and thought, well, if I don't get a partner to work with, I will not be able to break through this? And also, when you went through this process, we have had Ronald got training. I hope you also got training. I hope I'm not assuming. And you got training. What are those benefits that you look at and you say, well, my business has been able to move from point A to point B, that we want also our colleagues here to listen to? I think you're going to preach the gospel of cocoa and the ITC project. Welcome, Mr. Idrissa.
Thank you very much, moderator. Idrissa is my name. My company is a little group of companies. I want to tell you my story before even I became a little group of companies. I worked for the telecom industry. I was working for MTN. And by that time, I was the area representative of Southwest. We used to call it Southwest. That is Port Porto, Kakati, and all that. So I used to see people put cocoa on the tarmac for drying. And I was wondering, and it was, I mean, you know, in Bundibujo, it's cocoa only. Yeah. So I could see a lot of cocoa, and I would, of course, ask people around, what do you guys do with this? And actually, none of them knew what they used it for, but they knew Alazungu Ibamotuara. So they would tell me, people come here, and there are some people, the whites who come and take it. So I started picking interest slowly by slowly. As I was doing my business with MTN, I was also trying to buy. Then I came to Kampala here, I sourced, I looked for those people who were taking it out. By the time I now got to know, there was ESCO, Onam, there was Africa Trade Winds, and other companies that were trading cocoa. So I talked to them, and then I asked them if I could source for them from Bundibujo and then bring to Kampala, and so I can have a budget. And they were okay with it. So that is how I started with the cocoa. So as time went by, that was around 2012. So as time went by, I realized I made more research. So of course I knew to do business here, you must have a company. You should have registered a company at least. So I came up with an idea of registering a native group of companies with another partner of mine. And we were basically looking at agriculture, agribusiness, anything to do with commodities, sesame, meat, anything that comes from agriculture. So we registered that company. And at that time, I also, we were advised, there's a colleague of mine who was very into this business, and was like, you should be a member of so many of the associations around. So I went to register my company, Uganda Export Promotions Board, the Uganda National Chamber of Commerce. So that if opportunities come up, they'll definitely look into their list and they will see. So I made sure I better positioned my company. And before I knew it, a lady from Makerere University, I think she's the consultant that ITC consulted. And then it was consulted to source those people who are into the cocoa business. And my company was already registered with UEPB, Uganda Export Promotions Board. So that way, this lady consulted the UEPB. And then UEPB was like, oh, we don't have so many exporters, but there's this company called a group of companies. And the guy called Idrissa. So the lady called me. I was in good with her. She was like, okay, you're Mr. Idrissa. I was like, yeah. So we discussed so many things. And she was like, okay, there's a program that has come up, ITC. Would you be interested to take part? And so for me, it was an opportunity. I was like, yeah, no worries. So that is how I got into ITC. And the first thing they did for me was to sponsor me. And that time I didn't have so much knowledge as I have now for QUAAUL and all that. But the thing they did for me that time was to put me in a group of about 7 guys, some 3 cooperatives, then some UCDA staff, and also Uganda Export Promotions staff. And they sponsored us to an event called QUAAUL in Amsterdam. That opened up my eyes. So while I was there, I saw so many people from different walks of life, from different countries. They had come with their QUAAUL. I did not take any sample because me, I don't have any funds. I was just a mere trader. But because the opportunity had come, I just put myself on the plane and because it was sponsored. Yeah. So when we got there, of course, I looked at people around. Of course, there was this phobia of talking to the white, so I first talked to the black people. Why? How do you do it your side? So before you know it, I was already developing a network of so many people. And yeah, so I talked to them, how they do it. I got so many contacts, and yeah. So by the time I came back here, I think I was the only beneficiary to that QUAAUL event. The rest maybe just went to, okay, they have to go. But when I came back, my mindset changed. So I was like, okay, this QUAAUL can also be developed, can also be, value can be added onto it to something better than what it is now. Now, since that time, I started taking part in all trainings that came up from ITC. From post-harvest, sensory, to chocolate making, every training that has come up, I've taken part. And one thing that has made me a little unique, because, I mean, we were so many, but apart from him, you only see me on the panel, is passion. So I chose to put passion into this thing, into QUAAUL. I loved it. I even started speaking to the poets. Yeah. So I started talking to them. I could know, I could just look at it. I really felt so good about it. My mindset really was that I need to make QUAAUL my thing. Okay? And as I speak now, to cut the story short, I got to know the knowledge of the specialty market, what they want. And right now, I'm a consulting partner of one of the consulting other company in Belgium called Zoto. And I've been able to, now for a personal, I'm talking on a personal achievements, not as a company. So I've been able to even to go and do consultations in Cameroon, DRC, Sierra Leone, and more yet to come. And as I speak now, I can just eat the bean and know what flavor it is. I can even prepare for you bean from pot, and I'll tell you that by the end of drying, it will taste like eucalyptus. Get it? And the specialty market is specifically looking at flavors and aromas. Okay? So, yeah, so I got that level. And as I speak now, I mean, I can proudly say that I'm one of the best, if not the best in the country. Yeah, and on top of that, speaking QUAAUL, before, as you know, our industry, we have a challenge that QUAAUL has no policy at the moment. It is just under work in progress. And all the knowledge that we've been using has been borrowed from coffee. And most of the trainings that we've had, we were working with extension workers from the UCDA. And of course, attitude was the other thing where, I mean, most people, because QUAAUL, most of them don't know about it, even the attitude was so right. So every time we were called for trainings, other people thought of money in it. Yeah, not the knowledge, and because it was not money, it's a small thing, the cocoa was just coming up, most of them didn't pay attention to it. Now, for those of us who paid attention, really see that now we are better placed even to compete. Yeah. So I have traveled. I've been to Paris, where it says, and we took our beans that we fermented, and as I speak now, we have an order of the container that we are preparing. And you know, the specialty cocoa is the specialty market doesn't take huge volumes. Do not take 20 containers, do not take 30, but they'll tell you, give me maybe 2 containers, but the money they will pay for the 2 containers will be even much more better than 10 containers of conventional cocoa. Yes. So every time where we've traveled, we've taken samples, and I think I'm just also lucky. People have given us business. Yeah, people have given us business, and I don't have a farm as an individual, but I work with cooperatives. In Bundibujo, there's Bundi Kakemba, is a business, is a cooperative, is a cooperative union, Assembly Cooperative Union. Then also in Tising and Kasese, there are other people that are coming up on board. But one beauty about it is that because I interface with the clients, I'm also able to negotiate prepayments, because you know most times finance is the issue. Yeah. Now, these people will trust me, they'll be like, okay, maybe we can deal with the visa. So they're like, a visa, will you be able to get and secure our money? If you give these people money, will they just run away or do things anyhow? So what I do is I guarantee that, okay, yeah, you give them a pre-finance, I'll go and monitor the process, because I know what to do. And that's how I've been able to get to where I am, and also to be on the camp to share my experience. And yeah, yet I'm more to come. And I cannot speak more than this, because as you see me here, I'm Coco. So in case you want to know, I mean, I'm Coco. So I want to thank Madame Juliet. Every opportunity that has come up, she has called me, even when I'm in a country. She's like, this Sunday is this, will you be able to attend? And I'm like, yes, I'll come. Because first of all, I have passion that is driven by flavor and aroma. So that's it.
I think Risa, like they say, is cocoa. The passion is the cocoa. And I think I'm getting converted. So I'm also getting converted. Thank you, Risa, for those experiences. I think Risa alludes to the words that one of my mentors mentioned. Wherever you go, make sure you throw your network and improve his network. Say it benefited more than those who went with, Emba, not a cocoa farmer, but is exporting cocoa. And he has gone ahead to look into specialty cocoa markets. And that goes to that point that we mentioned to. You're one person away from your biggest deal. The other registered with UPV would have missed all these opportunities. But when you call that person in between him and the ITC, they say, hey, we know it, Risa. So make sure you grow those networks. Thank you very much, Risa. The key thing here that I'm always thinking about, and I'm also concerned. One of the gentlemen said, Uganda is trying to produce cocoa, very good cocoa. We haven't yet got into specialty markets. We are not yet branded specialty cocoa producers, and the market is still taking the lead, but we shall get there. And maybe if IGC to extend for the next 2 years or 3 years, we can look into specialty cocoa markets for Uganda, or running Uganda cocoa market. There's one person who has spoken, the only lady on the panel. It was a tree, a podium. You end with the face, like those younger kids who are eating chicken, they end with the skin because it's more tasty. Madam Sylvia, it is interesting to have you here. You are the voice of the women in Uganda. Everybody is on you. Our woman. And also for the people in Spain, they are out there saying, yes, our coffee, and it is in front here. You have participated in the IGC program. And you share with us your experience, the before and after of joining the IGC, and also after joining IGC. And also some of those things that you think, yes, I was talented here, but I knew I wanted the money, but after all, I realized the money wasn't the issue. This is how I moved forward. The best practices that you have put forward, and also having business as transport. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Moderator Robert. Good afternoon, colleagues. I am so privileged to be here and to stand on behalf of the women in coffee. I am humbled on that note. First and foremost, I want to mention that I'm a public health professional practicing. That's my profession, but I'm a passionate coffee enthusiast from farm to cup. I will give a little background to where I started my journey of coffee. I was born in a coffee farming family, and by chance I also got married to a family where they were growing coffee traditionally. But once I settled down, decided to say, let's not do coffee the traditional way. We had land which was redundant. We said, no, let's plant coffee and start demonstrating that coffee can be done differently and can bring different results. So why I took up to agree at family level after getting married and let's plant coffee was when we were in holiday. When we had put out coffee to dry, our dad was an agric officer, but was guiding us through the process of coffee many years ago. When the rains come, of course, we start to collect, but in a hurry, some didn't spill over to the floor. Even if it is heavy rain, that will make you pick that coffee bin. You try the coffee bin, as we hear the word bin. So from that experience, I looked far, I said, what is this thing? Because if you mention to some people that it's a coffee bin, they don't understand what a coffee bin is, but you know that the aroma from coffee is from a bin. So I carried it forward. My story, why I went into public health is different, but I will trade on the line of coffee. So we decided to register a company in 2016, Masha Quality Holdings. And the reason we registered this company was to support the community. People are growing coffee, but selling it at a very low price. But when you look at the labor needs of coffee, I'm speaking as a farmer, the labor needs of coffee are not little. You really toil, and by the time you want it sold, you want to get the best out of it. So the establishment of this company, it's a community-based company whose overall goal is to financial liberation for the community members, because especially the women and the youth, these are the people who take all the time and energy to bring this coffee to the table that we enjoy. We had one objective, to make sure the farmer is happy. So with our little resources, at the time of production, we say when the farmer brings the coffee, they must get the best value out of it. As a company, we may not get profits at the beginning, but we not profits ahead. So we encouraged our farmers in groups, and they were able to produce coffee for a number of years. The volumes were not very big, but we said, no, slowly we shall get there. And as a company, we were not yet doing the quality. We did for about 3-4 years. The quality was not good. During the rainy season, as you harvest, the coffee gets molds. You get a buyer who smells the coffee as like, the price here will not be very good. So you already see the energy come down. And I took it to another level. In 2018, I joined the International Women Coffee Alliance Uganda chapter as a way of trying to look out for knowledge and information. So we had a sponsored trip to China where we took our samples. I took the very samples I had. And when we went there, they were not very good, but 1 kilo went for 120,000 Uganda shillings. Sure. But that was a shocker. I said, okay. People came around asking for samples, but already I knew my coffee was not very good. But people asking for specialty coffee. As soon as we came back, I was doing my public health work. I was in Gulu. I got a call from a lady. I suspect it's the same lady who called my colleague, who said there's an opportunity with ITC and they would like to talk to people like you who are setting up coffee establishments at community level. Would you be interested? I would like to have a time with you at your premise and with an interview. I said, I'm very fun and I'm taking a week here. I wouldn't mind a virtual interaction if it is helpful on your end and my end. By luck, she accepted and we had an engagement, and I had the first training with ITC. And I must tell you, that was the turning point. I have not had only one training. I have had several, like my other colleagues have mentioned. And out of each of them, we have never remained the same as the company. And I would like to mention here categorically that our moderator today has been our coach and the quality champion. And what is interesting, What is more interesting about him is when he's about 6 hours from Kampala, but he ride a motorcycle and reach Kweli. So he deserves a special hand. And then through mountains, he gives advice and he's able to reach him. We had several engagements, we looked at what we are doing. I was able to identify opportunities, but see those edges to sharpen, like he said. So back to the QC program, we identified several areas of improvement, but we focused on one major one, post-harvest handling. What was it that we're not doing right, which could make our coffee better? We had discussions, like in a home, you have so many challenges, but you have to focus on that priority challenge. We can maybe address other areas. So out of the many needs we had, we decided to focus on post-harvest handling, developing SOPs, and then looking at the available resources. What can we do to be able to have a good product after harvesting this? So we had a number of drills then installed with readily available. IGC does not give money, but gives knowledge. So when we discussed, we said, okay, what does it need for us to improve our post-harvest handling? We said we can afford to put up a solar dryer. Once we collect the available materials and put up solar dryers with layers of trays, and that alone can be able to maintain the quality of our product, and we shall be able to test it in laboratories, both national and international. So having set up those solar dryer, we were able to pick a sample from that, focusing on specialty coffee now. We picked samples and brought them to CDA. Coffee was capped, it scored very well. It was taken to the international jurists. They also capped it and gave a very good score. And I must mention that Marshall Coffee is now known internationally because of the knowledge and support. Our coffee was auctioned. We determined the price, and what is very humbling is that the same buyer who took the coffee from the international auction in 2020 was able to come back in 2023, and in 2021, and he tripled the order he made for us. So as a company, we were not very big. This is a company in the US. We're not very big. They took 5 tons of specialty Arabica in 2020. 2021, they ordered 4. And where they said if we meet that need, the order for 2020, we may not be able to manage. And what is more interesting is that they are marketing the coffee in the US supermarket as Marshall coffee. And that can be valued. I mean, you cannot put a cost to that. What else do we need to do? There are so many opportunities out there. My colleagues have talked about micro lots. As we talk, we've had buyers in Japan, had a buyer in Germany, we've had a buyer in South Africa, have had one in Finland. These have taken micro lots, but it is us who determine the price. And the buyer who took the special sample of the honey coffee in the international capping, we are in touch with him, and he has taken our copies as we talk. They closed an international auction yesterday, and it's going to take all that we have in the stores. So my friends, coffee is not something you can talk around with. The benefits are really enormous. And tell them. I'm telling them. And maybe we should not look at the international picture as we talk. For the last 1.5 years, drink coffee at Cafe Javas, you're drinking Marshall coffee. In Uganda, in all the branches, we supply the main office. And the other interesting thing is that given us the leeway to also supply the Robusta. So I'm in touch with some of my colleagues here who are doing Robusta. We supply, and they're giving Ugandans and maybe Ugandan visitors the best quality coffee in the country. So we shouldn't wait to have the best coffee go out. Let's also interest ourselves to take the coffee within, and we shall not regret putting our efforts into the coffee. Besides the consumption and the other things, the other benefits that our company has really realized out of these engagements with IGC, we've got so many visitors. As we talk currently, our company is piloting a project with UNDP, digitalize agriculture. So as our farmers are putting coffee, someone is monitoring it at the DPA reporters. This week we had visitors from USAID with department. They would like to partner with us to see how to support coffee farmers. So when you do something with passion and give in time without looking at many the benefits, I think the benefits come. I think I can be corrected if I'm wrong in that line. We have ministries in our country who are looking out for people to support and people to work with results. We are going to receive a coffee weightage station from the Uganda Coffee Development Authority, and this is all owed to the knowledge and guidance we receive from the QC program, getting organized on ground, putting your house in order. There's so much I can say, but I would like to recognize Richard, one of the consultants of ITC. They really supported us. When you look at our product, the branding, there are two things here. One is different from the other because where we started has been a journey, and I credit the branding to our senior, Richard, who really took us through a number of sessions to make sure that our product is of international standard. So as you consume, it's not a local product, but it's an international product, and all that is all to the support from IT. I will conclude by saying that the short time we worked with ITC, gone through all the compliances required, because quality champion program required that you do quality work, and quality goes with compliance. So as an organization, we've had the UNB certification done. We've had the URA tax clearances up to date. We have the certificates. URSB, we opened the company in 2016. The earlier years were not very active, but as we talk, we've had to clear all the annual returns, and we are up to date in the system of URS. We've also been able to get the UCD roasting certificate and requirements, and as we talk, we are finalizing the Rainforest Alliance certification processes. As we talk, we have Fred on ground. I think we'll be returning tomorrow. And there's so much I can say. I think I'll pause here, and if there are any questions to ask about women in coffee, I am here. Thank you.
I think we should give another hand for the women in coffee. Thank you very much, Sylvia. For the few women in here who haven't yet thought of going into coffee, Sylvia is here. She will tell you where to go. We have another woman there from Timco. She's also an inspirational woman in coffee. You need to talk to those ladies. Really, Sylvia, from your story, I think IGC will have to come back to you. Not for the Kalambo now, but for the visibility again, because of the successes that you show. That's really where we say we need money, to get knowledge, the money is not the issue. Can be able to move those extra distances. The movement from the normal coffee, you mentioned really something, the post-harvest handling, and this is one of the things that we keep noting about our producers. Your coffee is not handled properly, you lose a lot. But by transforming the post-harvest handling processes, is now doing specialty coffee. You know, Ronald mentioned getting to US is hard. She's getting into US. You can see that because she's doing her processes properly. And also to be compliant, ensure that her quality meets that standard. The buyer says, well, every year we'll add more volumes into milk, we were able to maintain that quality. Every year you will success to all of us. Thank you very much. And we hope we can do for the new companies, most of us start companies and we forget, but there are these things that we need to be compliant with. Tax clearance. The systems are becoming tighter, the taxman is looking for money. We need to ask Sylvia how she can ensure that we are compliant and we don't have to get into challenge the taxman. You know, one gentleman was telling us, the taxman owns 30% of your business, like you don't know. So if you don't comply, you will come and collect. Thank you very much, panelists, for all your experiences and also for the successes. Juliet, I believe by the looks of the stories that we have here, ITC has really transformed the coffee sector and the cocoa sector in Uganda. Our colleagues in tea, don't look at us for now. You look at Juliet and that's how you can do tea.
so that we also have tea panelists in the next coming period. Thank you very much. We are going to go into the next session, but before we get there, we have products here. We have products from Kikopero, and we have products from Kimco. We are not going to pay for the Kalango 2 years. Forgive us. But we have put in time to come here, and we hope we can get a moment from Kikopero to tell us about his coffee, and also from Kimco to tell us about her coffee.
I would like to say Kikopero coffee comes from Kikopero village. Kikopero is a village where I'm born. And Kikopero means let us have a dialogue. That's all. So whenever you have it, it is about a discussion. A product, I used to work for NGO, QAAUL, and the NGO took me to UK in 2006. And when I was there, in the church, we were served with coffee before we went to for service, and we were also given coffee after service. And then I asked them, where did you get the coffee? I came back and organized my community that had lost interest in coffee, and we started developing specialty coffee. But all those years, I was roaming around the coffee, but I did not have specific things. In 2019, thanks to Julian, he came up to Mbali, sat me down, and he registered me into ITC. And I would like to say, I think I'm the very first beneficiary to go through this. When I came here, I met Mr. Msenzi, who took us through. Maybe those were there. But I being a farmer, I am among the first farm beneficiaries. Our coffee has now taken over the world. We benefited from a number of things. The training, I knew that we had good coffee, but I didn't know the characters of coffee, what they look for coffee, like flavor, aftertaste, the body balance. But that is what I gained from markup trainings. We also did, we did a competition, which was scored very well. And we were rated next to Ethiopia, which is a great coffee. So I would like to say, in Uganda, wherever you go, you find people taking the Nescafe. But people give us Nescafe, which is our reject, and they take our pure coffee. Pure coffee is pure coffee. When we went into lockdown, we became very much interested in localizing our coffee because we were deceived that the market is international. Actually, I'm not interested in the international market. If they want, let them come. We have taken over. Wherever I have enough calls that I do not want to be because people want to coffee. Let us develop what we have. We have been given a God-given gift, a source of income in every region of the country. Thank you guys for bringing me cocoa. I am also now interested. I will be trying if it grows in my
Thank you. The product, I'll name you the product, Kikopero Coffee, for your experience. We want to have a lady from Kimco to come and share with us her experience.
Thank you very, very much, colleagues of the house, coffee friends and family. My name again is Martha. Our coffee. The product you see over there is a typical product of markup project. Just actually whispered to me that these are the originals. When I look in the room, I can see 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yeah, I think they are really the originals of the markup project. And I think it's extremely humbling for us to be here. Again, the three of us. You know, we only talk to each other and say we have to move together. And I am so glad that we are here together. Plus all the other members that join in later. But the story of Kimco, like I said, it's a markup project story. For us, we go way back to Wengo, where we are based. We do Robusta, and we do several things. And these are things that we've actually benefited from the market. Now, to tell you a little bit about our primary processing, which is the product that generates the product that is in there. We have a coffee processing factory under the name of QAAUL Coffee Factory. And at that factory, we work with, I think, over 600 farmers. And again, courtesy of the markup project. Because initially we started with our own little farm, family farm, which is about 15 acres. But from there, from our different trainings, we realized that actually we have a lot to take and give back to the communities. So we opened up our factory to many other farmers. But we now also post at their trainers. We train these farmers into improved methods of their coffee, right from pointing them to the right planting materials which we actually provide. And these farmers are able to give us a quality product. We have about 300 of those who are women, who we treat very, very specially. We are in the process of speaking to a buyer who we hope can take their coffee as specialty coffee. And I hope that we can do it this season. But the benefit is that we've been able to pull this number of farmers and train them and also organize them in sort of a circle. Those of you who are in processing, you know the advances that we give farmers. We've been able to give them that advance. And if there are any people, I don't know if markup can link us to finances, because we are using our personal money to do that, and we are not able to do it sufficiently, and maybe to reach out to more farmers. Would be very happy. But I would like to announce that we are at this point talking to UDD and hope that they can support us and be able to, get these farmers produce more and reach out to these much wanted markets. So we've been able to improve our processes at the factory. We through again markup, we got a moisture meter. We are able to measure the moisture content of the farmers and even get the farmers actually appreciate coffee of a certain moisture content. I don't know if there is any UCPA person in the room, but our area was known to have one of the first coffee qualities, second to soda. But I think as we speak right now, we have one of the best coffees in Wengo, and best coffees that come through our own farmers at QAAUL Coffee Factory. So we really want to appreciate markup for that gadget that you gave us, that the farmers actually now appreciate. That once they are able to, first of all, pick the right coffee, handle it well, make sure it's up to the right moisture content, because initially there was the belief that the higher the moisture content, the heavier the coffee, the more money that you make. But we have actually reversed that mindset. That the lower the moisture content, the better you handle your coffee, the lower the moisture content, the better the cup, but also the better, the much higher profit. Because we do that at our factory. Farmers are able to bring their coffee to weight, and they're able to see how we pay differently depending on the quality as well as the moisture. So thank you very much. And I remember I told you when I received my moisture meter that I was going to put it in a common use facility, and indeed. And we don't only, by the way, open it up to just the farmers, but also to the traders. And if there are any coffee traders, you know how traders do their thing, but they're also appreciating courtesy of our trainings, courtesy of the way we do our stuff at the factory. So that's a little benefit at the factory level. Like I told you, our documentation has highly improved, much better. And because of that, we were able to have our very first audited books of accounts. Very proud of that, because before we joined the backup, I really thought that was something of an alien thing, a mystery, an impossible thing. I remember one time speaking to Madame Sigoti, and I told her, I don't know how to do this anymore. And she said, no, just do the right bookkeeping. And our coach, what's his name? Yusuf, did a wonderful job to help us organize our books of accounts. And we are very proud, you know, and very fearless to speak to any potential partners. And payments, I am not afraid at all to walk into war again, because I am on top of my game. I was just whispering to somebody that now I actually know how to go about taxes. Not in, what's the word? There is avoiding, but there is also evading. Evading is good, right? Avoiding is good. No, one is good. One is good. And I learned that through my coach at ITC. Avoiding. I am not evading, but I am avoiding. So Yusuf told me how to avoid. Just prepare your books well to the dot. And if you have any questions, go to them. And you'll be good. And also, I have learned that actually, because I've worked with them for 3 years, yeah, sometimes I don't even pay, because I'm able to show that I didn't make the income, the profit. So I learned all that through, you know, my coach through ITC, and I am up to date with that. That's at the factory level, primary processing. Then it comes to this animal over here. This animal here, like I said, it's a product of ITC, and we were able to work with my quality champion. Unfortunately, I didn't see him here, but when he stepped away, I went under the wings of Robert. Thank you so much for following up, and we were able to work on our QAAUL certificate. And again, this is an animal that I thought was so difficult. Yes, it is laborious, but they gave me a way to do it. How? And if there is anyone in the room who has been appointed the UNPS, we should just make it tomorrow. What I learned through my coach is that you don't have to have the facility, because it is so expensive. And those are things that pull us away. You don't have to have the facility, but rather find partnerships. So they got us in touch with QRAD, where we are able to, one, to be incubated. We are incubators there. But they also opened up their facility for us to get the UNPS certification. So now I know the quality that's in here. I can ably speak for it with a lot of confidence because I know what it is. We have actually, this is an old one, but we've actually been able to get a new one to renew our certification and being able to get our coffee, not only in the supermarkets here, but we have sent it to Sudan. We have sent it to, Sudan and Canada. And, you know, they are able to, and we are able to speak about it with a lot of confidence and also say, look, we are locally certified. I mean, I usually tell people, if you're not locally certified, then you don't have any business, you look outside. So if you don't have that, please, maybe you can reach out to Markup. But that is something that we're able to do with them. And in addition to that, when you look at our label, it's a very unique label. Again, through my coach, we came up with the idea of doing our coffee different, because through our markup trainings, we learned that every coffee should have a story. Okay? So this is something that we thought through with my coach, and we decided, because I come from the background of a teacher, and I was, we do own a factory where I saw children coming to work every other time, as well as see them come to work on factories. We decided that ours was going to focus on giving back part of what is acquired from the cells to the community, to take back, to take those children away from the factories, away from the farms, and take them back to the schools. So we are currently working with Kabuya Primary School to see how we can actually continue with this project of stopping child labor in the coffee communities. Other than that, I think I could go on and on about the markup project and the benefits. We really are grateful, and I hope that we see a renewal and many more SMEs that benefit from the trainings and indeed go ahead and implement. Because the thing is, we tend to attend so many trainings and we go back and nothing happens. But I'm really glad to see people in the room before we started and they have these stories, meaning that they actually went to implement that plan. Thank you again, Martha, and we pray that you continue to grow to greater heights in Uganda and in Africa
tonight. Thank you, Martha. We can also say thank you, Kimco Coffee, and also to drive stop child labor. We have the youngest baby, the baby on the block. We have still, you can see also the path is still in the first stages, but we have a product and we want to hear from the Coco team, and then we can have some questions in the next 10 minutes. Coco, we are going to limit your time. You're still young. You don't talk much.
One of the boys, my name. I come from Sogasaburi. But I've come here on behalf of Promised Land. It is a local company based in Uganda, and Mike was part of Uganda. So we are in Great Uganda. For the QUAAUL, I've come because of very many objectives. Network is one of them, but getting feedback on our product. I've already gotten the biggest feedback so far, but I will still look forward to getting more and more of those feedbacks. How does Promised Land join our business? It's quite low, but I will begin somewhere, maybe 6 years back. It begins with Swiss Contact Uganda. In 2015, Swiss Contact Uganda comes to Uganda looking for private companies to work with. But they find me as a government worker, working with my game. So they share with me that capacity. I try my best to look for the partners they want in the private sector. And definitely fail to get coding requirements there put down. So after failing to get the partner, I tell them that, you know what? We have a private company which can still enable you to accomplish your objective. This company has been working with rural farmers in Sogasab region, in Kadiro, in Kakutumba, in Kamoja, and Uganda, but not in my where Coco is. And I'm part of it. What shall we do? You are going to be the supervisor, but again, you have the company. So definitely, when the company is registered, it becomes a legal person. Me, I'm just the independent of it, and it will do its work the way you want it. So we work with them for some time, and somewhere, somehow, we sort of help to understand what we are what. Because we are passionate at helping the rural people down there. So in between there, we also want to private sector organization on the same objective. So we train farmers, we do some bulking. Now we have started this advanced value addition. I'm calling it advanced simply because I always get challenged when people talk of value addition and forget that even mere drying correctly is part of value addition. So, because I've been working with the cocoa value chain through the private sector under Promised Land, in 2020,
early 2020, I got a call. When somebody was explaining to me that he had been invited to me to the call of this land and wanted to have an interaction with me on behalf of ITs. That gentleman is called Tari Charles. I think he had been given a consultants around the baseline. So he came and we interacted. We shared with him our challenges and the successes we had. After that, he took the report. I don't remember whether it was 2019, but somewhere, somehow. Because 2020 was what? Yeah, so before, in 2019, I think that's when it came. So thereafter, I was invited for one of the meetings of ITC Cup, and I came. So like I came, I don't know how to describe it, but this product, when the moderator was inviting people to talk about their products, initially, they recognized it. Then later, I forgot it. I had to remind him that you know what? There is still promise still out there. Okay. So that is the feedback I've been saying that I've gotten it. Maybe simply because of the packaging and the way it has just been explained. But I said, we have to put it there and be able to get all of this format because we have developed the product. So through the various trainings, which has already talked about, we have attended internal management systems training that were added on what had been in a meeting sharing baseline survey findings. There is a way in which I've also marketed what we need in solar. Because when I come, I'm also passionate about it, but maybe in a different way. In some of the trainings, I was like an audit. And some facilitators were really feeling as if now that this one is going to the extreme. I said, that's why we're not doing things so that we can also do them the right way. Don't worry. And I think Teresa remembers what was in the meeting. So, this product, Promise Royal Cocoa Powder, we started developing it very recently by trying to think about the name, and finally we settled Promise Royal Cocoa Powder. So, after that, because we have been working with the farmers, we have a list of farmers as of February. There are 548 registered farmers following the standards and IMS, preparing them for that bulking, which is standardized. But like it has been said, the issue of finance. Farmers want to work with that. Companies which don't have a person advance like ours cannot talk about that big business, which Idris and others have been talking about. But I'm happy because I've heard that you can use your personal advance, your personal finances to do the little you can. So what we have decided was tentatively redirect our strategy and say maybe we go value addition. We will still do our best for the community. Why this value addition? I've read about 3 different things. There is tea, there is cocoa, there is coffee. But my finding, if I'm to rate them in order, I don't want to take it. Otherwise, cocoa has a very big position. So when I see somebody like at least saying it's cocoa and the cocoa is the same, then maybe you have a brother. So this cocoa, in the last 2 weeks, we wanted to begin marketing it shortly before Easter, but it wasn't possible. So we started just recently after the Easter break. But I can tell you, people are very thirsty for this product. Many people are asking us why it has not been there before. They are tired of some other beverages. But We said no, now we have started to make it possible so that you can always have the chance to choose from more options. Okay? Many villages are here, and we don't want to talk about them, but others are like the shell. When you are looking for fuel, you can always go to any petrol station and you will call it shell. In the local language, you can say. Okay? But it's not that every station is shell. So, QUAAUL is very good. And I want to encourage Ugandans, the way somebody has been encouraging you to take coffee domestically. Because QUAAUL has a whole range of benefits. If I wanted to list all those benefits, I cannot exhaust them. But it's like a drug shop right here. In that bottle. If you have issues to do with visual environment, it is QUAAUL. If your skin is trying to make you look like you are not the person, it is QUAAUL. If your bones look like as if they want to get broken, QUAAUL does that very good work of strengthening the bones. If you are having issues to do with the digestion, where the digestion doesn't want to be really perfect, especially for carbohydrates communities, like the way it is, maize, cassava, and so on, rice. It's QUAAUL. So because of that, we say now, if we can only tell our customer what this product is going to do for them, we don't need to go cross-border in the near future unless we have gotten that serious funding, which is demanding export market. So ladies and gentlemen, QUAAUL is promised royal cocoa powder is available now with promised land. You can always deliver. We made these simplified packs. This one is at 6,000 right now, but we are also producing seedlings because even when we've been sharing with colleagues there, many people don't know that Musoka region produces cocoa. So we are going to use this before the rest that cocoa grows everywhere, but it grows best in Musoka. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are going to start chatting for the next 1 minute. I want to take this opportunity to invite our guest of honor to take us through the big session.
Thank you so much, moderator. The EU delegation, actually the funders of markup. The markup team, Juliet is not around, but I believe other members are willing. Colleagues who are following virtually, Beatrice, Ephras, and Margarita. Members of the private sector, I don't think we have government represented here, but in case we have government, members of the private public sector and also the private sector, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Francis Kabuye, and I work with the Federation of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises in Uganda. I must thank Markup Uganda, Juliet in particular, for the invitation. It is indeed our singular honor as a Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises to be part of this landmark ceremony. And also, I would like to thank Markup in particular for having trained. I've been listening to some of the success stories here. I believe it's part of the intervention. For us as a federation, seeing SMEs having such stories, an exciting stories, an achievement. And I also want to talk briefly about the Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises. What do we do as a federation? The Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises is an umbrella body of SMEs in Uganda. We are about 7 years old, and what we do majorly is we do advocacy, policy advocacy in the area of SME support. I know some of you are going to, like especially the people in coffee, you must be wondering why we don't have any information about the coffee the ambitious coffee deal with Vinci. But I must say that the Federation came out with a strong statement against this agreement, and it was given to the media, it was even shared with the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, because this is our entry point into government. So we are part and parcel of the entire private sector team that is rejecting this ambitious and selfish arrangement. Of course, we believe this does not work. They normally say economics that works, but I don't think this is part of the economics that works. Because how do you promote a monopoly in a liberalized economy? Does it really work? For those of you who have done economics, we believe it doesn't really work. And we are happy with the developments that are coming up right now as I speak about this particular agreement. There was an NRM caucus meeting, must have heard about it, and the MPs, the NRM caucus, were they came up strongly against this bill. There is also, on the floor of Parliament, there are some discussions around the bill, and I believe there is also a court case. There are some court issues about it. So we are praying and we are hopeful that will not come to pass. What we do as a federation, we also do training. We carry out a number of training, skills training to our members. Of course, sometimes we extend to non-members, but we give priority to members, those who have registered with us. Recently, we have been training digital literacy, and as I speak right now, my senior colleague, Mr. Olugeme John, who was supposed to be officiating at this function, is in Arua conducting a digital literacy training of over 500 SMEs. It is being funded by the UCC. We also do incubation. We offer incubation services to some of the growing SMEs. And we do this, of course, sometimes in partnership with some government organizations. And we support trade exhibitions and also trade missions. We sometimes organize trade missions outside Uganda. I've heard somebody from Undi Kakemba. Undi Kakemba is one of our members. And they have also benefited from one of our trade missions to Ghana. Some time back, a gentleman called Wambale Lazarus was part of a delegation to Ghana. So we normally organize these trade missions so that our people can get exposed, that we can get, they can acquire markets outside boundaries. So the Federation does a lot of work, a lot of things. And I would interest I've seen some of actually most of the SMEs that have been showcasing products here. You've not yet registered with us, but I would implore you to please come and enjoy the benefit of being a member of the Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises. Now, the quality assurance debate. I think this is a timely intervention, especially as right now, we are getting emerging markets outside the boundaries, and regionally, continentally, and also overseas. At the regional level, in the ESC, we are getting an opening into DRC, the Congo. It is a new member that has just joined the ESC, and we are looking at there enormous opportunities for market opportunities for our products as a country. But we can't export to DRC, we can't export to ESC, we can't export to Africa. Right now, we're also experiencing the African continental free trade area. I don't know if some of you have participated in that or are preparing to participate. As a federation, we have been preparing our SMEs, over 300 SMEs, of course, with a partnership, with the funding of UNDP, we have been preparing to participate in the African continental free trade area. But you can't participate if your products are not of quality. If your products don't have standards, somebody from Kimcom mentioned it here. If you don't standardize products, if you don't get certified, forget about international markets. Standardization is a key component of the production. And it starts from, it's an integral part of the value chain. It starts from the soil. Actually, I was sharing with Joan here, and she told me, for us in Toro, we have better soils. And that assures us, gives us an assurance of good quality. So you can see that standardization starts with what? The soil. So it's an integral part of the value chain, production value chain. So there is no way you can escape standardization or quality. Sometimes I look at, I come from from PG side, and along Masaka Road, I look at lorries carrying cabbages and greens and what, and you see people seated on top. And you wonder, sometimes it's irritating. You find boys seated and sleeping on top, and now you wonder, what is the quality? What kind of quality are we looking at? For a person who is going to consume that product, the greens, and so in fact, sometimes, sorry, I will say this, but when nature calls, I don't know if the driver stops and these people answer the call of nature. This is, of course, an issue for thought. But we also need, as Markup comes up with this initiative, as we launch the Quality Assurance Association in Uganda, I think this is one of the areas that needs to be looked at. The entire value chain, from the soil to the table, should be looked at, should be considered. Why do we talk about quality? Some people don't know. We have been like in the African continent, the awareness program we have had with SMEs under the African continent of people awareness. You find an SME has a very good product, stability. It can even be exported, but it's not certified. And when you talk about certification, they say, what are you talking about? For us, we are selling, we are enjoying the local market. But of course, we have been time and again trying to popularize the quality assurance and standardization. And with the time, we have had success stories. Some of our members have now started picking up. We are working with UNBS to ensure that we come up with a special arrangement for SMEs. Of course, they'll tell you about money. They'll say we don't have enough financial facility because the standardization requirements, financial requirements for standardization are a bit high. But we are working with UNBS to ensure that we get a special arrangement for SMEs. But of course, this puts us between a hard stone and a rock. Because as we are advocating for external markets, for continental markets, some of those countries where we want to export, they are very sensitive about standards. But now if we compromise our standards because we want our SMEs to sell, then we may end up not having some of our products on what? On the continental, regional, or overseas markets. So it's putting us between a rock and a hard stone. And I think this is one of the areas that as we launch this new baby, that needs to be also given a lot of attention. Of course, we have the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. This is the body that is responsible for certifying our products. But we have a challenge, and I believe the inception of Quality Assurance Association will be supplementing the UNBS efforts. UNBS has an issue. I was with the Minister of Trade for over 10 years, working with the former Minister of Trade. And I know UNBS is being understaffed. And they also cry, when you talk to the executive director, he's saying we have all time and again, we keep requesting for more money to get more staff members so that we can address, because they have a very big population to attend to. But when you look at their staff base, they are really understaffed. So we are praying that this new baby will also supplement, will come in to support UNBS in executing their duty. I think that is it for now. But the Federation, I would like to reiterate our commitment and support to the new baby, the Quality Assurance Association of Uganda. I would like to take this opportunity to officially launch or declare the Quality Assurance Association Uganda launched. I wish you a safe journey, bon voyage, and we welcome you into the space of quality assurance. Thank you so much.